And with that, we should be live. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Jump King. This is going to be interesting, to say the least. If you weren't here last time, you would not know this, but I have played this game before, as in yesterday, and not before then, though. Though that may then be confusing as to why I'll be starting where I am, and that is because I'm a gamer, obviously. Joseph, can you confirm?
I'm sorry to say that I won't actually be here for like a good majority of the stream, especially because right now I'm playing IT for Sheldon, and
Oof.
after that I might be going to Destiny, and I
Oof.
feel like having Destiny in here would not be the best idea. You know, just like when Sheldon decided to read out the fucking patch notes for the newest update while you were playing Cave Story.
This may be true, but it wouldn't. It also would not be the first time such things have happened, to say the
I
least.
mean, yeah. Well, like, at least when we're playing a game, we're trying to stay quiet about it. And considering a new expansion for Destiny 2 just came out, we're gonna be fucking like talking about it a lot.
Understandable.
So I don't want to just bog up your stream with that.
Yeah. But you hear that, chat? You can witness the Destiny 2 expansion absolutely nowhere because I do not believe this will be streamed.
Correct.
It will not.
I don't know. I'm sure someone out there is streaming it on Twitch.
You could probably
not,
experience it from a lot of people, just not either of us.
Yeah. But not from my legendary co-commentator, Gamer Jeff, who is notable for his YouTube channel, Jeff's Gaming Emporium, where he has submitted several reviews of various video games, including the Kingdom Hearts series and the Assassin's Creed series. In fact, a new video came out today revolving around Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, which I will be getting to eventually on one of my Monday RPG games days.
Yeah, you hit pretty much every beat. I was going to try to remind you of something, but every time I came up with something, you just like already had it, and I was like, oh, okay.
You think I wouldn't know how to shamelessly plug my friend's Twitch channel? Not Twitch channel, YouTube channel? God, what's wrong with me? Don't ask.
Understandable. Alright, have a good stream. Don't fall down to the very bottom again.
I would
at
never
the
do
end,
such a thing.
right after asking if the game saves your progress.
I would never do such a thing. Anyways, yeah. I'll talk to you later then.
Yep, have a good one.
You too. Truly an unfortunate day that I will not have one of my co-commentators, but I have another one, so it's fine.
Wait, I'm a co-commentator, what?
I mean, by definition, yes, on a technicality.
I can commentate?
You can, but that is not the question. The question is rather, will you commentate? Either way, I think we're just gonna go ahead and get started. Yeah. We're just gonna continue from my file.
3 hours into the game!
Where did I end up? Right at the start. His strategy to get the babe. It was something foolish, like... not fall. Not very smart, if you ask me. I wouldn't
You're being
know.
called out.
I would never do something like fall. Only a fool would fall.
You are legally a fool.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Too bad.
But yeah, due to yesterday's stream, I have played some amount of Jump King. However, that does not mean I'm good at it.
And I have technically played a lot more than 3 hours, but I've only played for 2 hours within the past 3-4 years. When did this game come out again?
I do not remember. Or I suppose more accurately, I would
3
not
years.
know because I only obtained this like a month ago.
See, I obtained it legally last night.
We love supporting the original creators here.
Yeah, I mean, now that, you know, I actually have money and I'm not in school.
Joke's on you. I'm in school and I don't have money, but I'm still out here purchasing things that I probably shouldn't.
Fair. To be honest, I probably could have just asked my father for it. Like, hey, there's this $13 game. Mind if I get it? And he probably wouldn't have said yes.
Only a fool would say yes to one of your requests.
Now hang on. My requests aren't that bad.
Why do you think you're pretty much one of very few people that play fighting games with me? It's because I'm a fool. Not because of anything about you. It's not you, it's me.
But you're a fool. You know nothing.
I may be a silly clown.
Down, 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 then the flames went higher.
Not wrong. It's funny just how much faster I can clear certain areas in this, and then how much worse I am at other areas than others.
Yeah. But I mean, same thing happens with getting over it.
Yeah. I may be stupid.
Back to the Shadow Realm.
My favorite location. How'd you know?
I honestly thought you overshot that.
Don't worry, so did I. Well, I undershot that. And that.
Back to the Shadow Realm!
My favorite location. Nice overshoot. I was too far away.
So, I wasn't here for most of the day, so how was your day?
It was alright. Found out that Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory does not have cross-platform multiplayer play. Also, I will likely not be covering Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, despite my intentions to cover the whole Kingdom Hearts franchise, because it's a rhythm game produced by Disney. So you know what that means? Disney music. You know what that means? Copyright.
I was gonna say, you literally can't anymore because Union Cross is no longer available.
I'm not really sure if we consider
It's canon.
Gacha MMO. Like, it may be canon, but I'm not sure if we consider a Gacha MMO a game.
You play Genshin!
I don't consider that a game. I consider that an addiction.
Just, you play Genshin. You have no right to talk.
I may not have any right to talk, but neither does Union Cross, to be fair.
I mean, at this rate, or at this point, Union Cross doesn't have rights at all.
It doesn't exist anymore, after all.
Indeed. It is lost media that should stay lost.
Agreed.
Like, I heard from someone someone who used to play the game, just how badly it was pay to win. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty badly pay to win. Like, you could do a decent amount of stuff free to play, but like, you can't really do that much stuff free to play in Union Cross. It's
funny
really
'cause, like, I remember back in the days where the most prolific gacha game on the market was Brave Frontier. Which, back in the old days, was so incredibly, like, free-to-play friendly. And then it got worse.
Mm-hmm.
And worse.
As
and
many
worse.
things do.
And from what I can tell, it still wasn't as bad as Union Cross.
See, I didn't play much of Union Cross, but you really did just have to dump everything in order to get anything good there.
Like, the only other gacha game I know of that would even be comparable to Union Cross is King's Raid. And that's only if you're doing PvP.
Meanwhile, Union Cross raids and such, you had to have like all the dupes maxed out. You gotta like get all the. I don't even remember how that system worked. Hold on. Man, it's been
funny.
But
what's funny, Square Enix has done a good, free-to-play friendly gacha game.
Yeah.
Brave Exvius.
I was not aware that Brave Exvius was generally considered to be good.
I mean, in terms of free-to-play friendliness.
Fair enough.
Gameplay-wise, it's basically identical to Brave Frontier. It's literally by Alium and has the same gameplay system. It's literally Final Fantasy Brave Frontier.
Checks out.
To the point where, in the early days of Brave Exvius, back in the 6-star era of Brave Frontier, they did a Brave Frontier collab, and they were able to transfer units with basically their entire kit intact just because the systems are identical.
Checks out. See, unfortunately, my end of the gacha addiction ended up being Genshin Impact.
Disgusting. At least play a good one, like Honkai.
I would never do such a thing. I would never allow myself to do anything generally considered good.
Come on. Arknights, Alchemy Stars.
I played Arknights for a while, and I could not get into it.
Okay, fair enough. But Alchemy Stars.
I'll have to give that one a shot. Another one I've been meaning to play is, Dokkan. Like, Dokkan is, like, very heavily regarded as free-to-play friendly. And I'm just like, that doesn't make much sense to me, given, Dragon Ball. Like, the ultimate merchandising opportunity in Japan. But, like, apparently it is.
From what I've heard, JP is, but the North American server isn't nearly as free-to-play friendly.
I wouldn't know. I have various friends who do play on both servers, and they seem to say that it's fine on both ends, really.
Yeah, like, it's fine on both ends, but I've heard JP is just better in terms of free-to-play friendliness. Like, you get a ton more free stones.
It would not be surprising, to say the least.
At least I think it was called stones.
Yeah, Dragon Stones.
Yeah. See, I know my basic bitch Dragon Ball. I do not know my basic bitch Dragon Ball.
What is the main character's name?
Carrot.
Carrot? Correct. What is the
Indeed.
deuteragonist's name?
Vegetable.
Indeed. Can you tell me any villain name?
Bridge.
Close enough. Nah,
Mitochondria.
You're good enough. That's basically all you need to know.
So, for the record, non-existent Twitch chat, the only reason I even know these names and then making fun of them is because of Dragon Ball Fighters. Well, except for Kakarot and Vegeta. those I knew outside of the existence of Dragon Ball Fighters.
It do be like that.
I don't want to know, or I don't want to mention how I first found out those were their names. Well, Kakarot, I should say. Vegeta I knew just because, I mean, it's fucking Vegeta.
Vegetables. I love Vegetables.
You know, fun fact, my stepmother says vegetables as vegetables.
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 Why does that sound like the worst merchandising opportunity for a 3D CG Christian children's programming?
It really does. But here's the worst part.
Yeah?
She's a second grade teacher.
See, that... I would say that would be probably fine if you're working with, like... I don't know...
Well,
kindergarten?
she teaches math.
Fair enough. And... is it just, like, a speech quirk she likes to do, or is it, like, actually genuine?
Like, she knows full well it's pronounced as vegetables, but when she was a kid, she first saw the word and thought, okay, it's veggie tables.
Which, not an unreasonable first pronunciation of the word.
Yeah. So even after she learned that it was pronounced vegetable, she just kept it as a quirk.
Understandable.
So close.
So close indeed. And yet, so far. As I proceed to miss the same jump like 5 times in a row. I'm lucky I hit my head there.
Yep.
I'm not lucky
You're
I
not
hit
lucky.
everything else there. Don't ask.
Failure is not falling down, but staying down.
Are you gonna be my Bennett Foddy again today?
No.
No?
I'd have to prepare an actual script.
What happened to the one you had last night?
I already went through it all.
Already?
Except, yes.
Well, the failure quotes are the ones that matter.
Yeah, I went through all of those too.
Did you?
I think I had like 2 left.
Wow, there are not as many failure quotes in Getting Over it as I thought there were. It's like everybody's always like, the game's constantly mocking you, but like, I don't actually think it is.
But you could read through the entire script, including the failure quotes, in under 10 minutes.
Somehow checks out.
It just feels like there's so much more dialogue than there really is. Clunk.
I'm so good at video games. Man, speaking of my Genshin Impact addiction, the new region came out. And,
Sumeru, I think it's called.
yeah, Sumeru. And, I know the whole point is that it's a forest in a desert, but there's significantly less desert than I was expecting. It's like all forest so far that I've gotten to, and it's just like, I feel like I've been lied to.
Let's see. Is Sumeru based around Egypt?
It's supposed to be primarily, like, the Middle East in general.
Oh,
But if you stuck a
makes sense
rainforest
with the
directly
name.
in the center of it.
That makes sense with the name, actually.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Unless, like... Where's the Fertile Crescent again? That's relatively close to the Middle East, right?
Yes.
Like with Sumeria?
Yeah, I think. I don't know. Geography has never been my strong suit.
Oh, don't worry. Mine neither.
Like, remember how I said last stream, how the hell did people ever think I was a super genius?
Yes, I do remember that.
Well, there was one subject where everyone knew I was not a genius.
And it was geography.
It was geography.
Understandable.
To the point where I almost failed geography.
Joke's on you, the classes I failed early on in my academic career were all physical education classes. Don't ask.
Enough, I never failed any of those.
Don't ask how someone fails PE. You just do, okay?
Like, I'm definitely not the most fit, but I'm also not unfit.
I'm definitely unfit. There's no follow-up. It's literally just that. So close.
It's so far.
Indeed. I don't know why this block in particular gets to me.
Because it has a really weird arc to get to it.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought you were about to go straight down the pit.
I was expecting it to. And there it is.
Oh, there it is. Oh, God. God.
God?
So, that song I just referenced.
Yeah?
So, have you ever heard of the educational TV show Odd Squad?
No, I have not.
It's a young kids math TV show.
That would explain why I never heard of it.
I'm not sure how old it is, but my stepmother uses it basically whenever the kids have already finished their work. That way she can just put something on. And because it's, math related, the administration can't get onto her about it. Well, apparently,
Oh no.
there was some antagonist in one of the episodes who shot soup out of his hand.
Soup?
Soup.
Oh my god, that's my favorite superpower.
Superpower?
Yeah, superpower. Exactly, someone gets it.
See, there's a follow-up story now because of that, but, So, apparently, Odd Squad likes to make references. Like, and I'm talking references such as, for example, the character who goes by the name of Dr. O. She said her name, and then someone said, Doctor Who? And her response was, wrong TV show.
Wonderful.
But, so, they make references. Okay, no problem with that. Until you get to, Soup Man.
Yeah.
And his song reference. Soup, there it is.
Oh god. Is it time for a slam jam? Oh my god.
And now for the follow-up story that I mentioned because of soup or salad. There used to be a restaurant down here called Soup or Salad. Now, the first time I heard this, like the name,
Yeah.
it was my father saying it when I was maybe 6 years old. And I just looked at him dead in the eye and said, what the hell is Super Salad? Keep in mind, this was 6-year-old me.
And did you even say hell?
Yes!
Somehow checks out.
But I just looked at him dead in the eye and went, what the hell is Super Salad? And that was when he had to stress, no, soup or salad.
Average American. What the hell is soup or salad? No, that's a
What the
lie.
hell is salad?
Most Americans know what soup is.
Yeah, that's where they buy their clothes.
Why are you buying clothes at the soup store?
Fuck you!
I never actually saw Code Ment, or Code Geass for that matter. But Soup Store is immortal.
I can't necessarily advise watching the former because I've only ever seen I'm at Soup.
Mhm.
But I can definitely advise the latter. Like,
See-
Code Geass is good.
Code Ment, I don't know how good Code Ment is, but my favorite abridged series will probably always be Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series.
Understandable.
That being said, its most recent update was sometime while I started streaming, I think.
Yeah.
And prior to that, it was, like, 2 years before that. So, either way, would highly recommend Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series.
As someone who hasn't finished it, I also recommend it.
Yeah. It's pretty funny, I'll give it that. It makes up, like, 80% of my childhood. And that may be a lie, but it's not incorrect.
See, 80% of my childhood is Insane Aquarium and Chuzzle.
Dude, I would totally play Insane Aquarium on stream, but I don't really think it'd be that interesting to watch from the viewer standpoint. I'd have to have some, like, crazy chat engagement things, and I don't think that would really be possible.
Make
Either
a
way-
fish do a barrel roll.
Wait, what?
Make a fish do a barrel roll.
Here we go.
It's
Now we're getting-
possible, technically.
Yeah?
All you have to do is have a fish die and then have them revived by Angel.
This is true. Oh man, speaking of those two, I love PopCap, but I don't know what's happened to their, like, games availability. Like, a lot of them are on Steam, this is true, but it looks like the entire Bookworm franchise is just gone, and I don't know how to feel about that, because I miss it. I miss it a lot.
Is it possibly on the PopCap launcher?
They have a launcher? Is this through
I'm
EA?
pretty sure.
This is through EA, isn't it? Because I think EA owns PopCap now.
Let's see. Oh, no, Bookworm Adventures is no longer available anywhere.
Yep. I'm aware, and it makes me sad. It makes me so sad. Like, it's like, why? Like, I am a huge proponent of making games available, or, like, not just games, but, like, any outdated media. Because, like, what's the point in protecting the, what's the point in protecting a, intellectual property if it's no longer accessible? Because, like, I don't know how to describe it other than it doesn't make any sense to prevent people from getting their hands on something they can't get their hands on anymore. If it's just, like, anything that was at one point available for access and is not currently not available for access due to any, like, legal reasons or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Just when you as a company can avoid making your media become lost, why don't you?
because, like, my, I've brought this up so many times in a row, I swear, but my biggest, like, the company I have the biggest problem with in this regard is Nintendo. Because, like, Lord knows how long the world has been asking for Mother 3 to get an English release. But it still hasn't happened. I suppose I can accept that, you know, it's... To be fair, Mother 3 would probably run into a lot of copyright issues in the West, but, like... That being said, Japan's copyright law is, like, more restrictive, so...
Although, okay, Mother series actually has a bit of an interesting situation in which it's not actually owned by Nintendo?
Yeah, because it's primarily owned by Itoi, isn't it?
Yes.
Even then, I think Itoi is the kind of person who would want his media to be accessible in other
Oh,
parts
he
of the world.
absolutely is, to the point where he even has officially endorsed the fan translation of Mother 3.
Yeah. But Nintendo hasn't, so that makes some wacky things go on, as I'm sure everyone is aware.
Yeah, like, when something is owned by two companies, things just become complicated.
Indeed.
Kingdom Hearts!
I would know as someone who plays Kingdom Hearts, but that's for different reasons.
Fucking mouse.
Oh god, speaking of Kingdom Hearts, as I mentioned earlier, Gamer Jeff, on his YouTube channel, Jeff's Gaming Emporium, has released a review of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep earlier today. Go ahead and check it out at Jeff's Gaming Emporium on YouTube. Would highly recommend.
And while you're at it, then tell him to do the Birth by Sleep video.
Just on the video itself, comment, hey, when are you
Yes.
gonna cover Birth by Sleep on the Birth by Sleep
Yes.
video?
Exactly.
That's so rude, I love it. Oh man. But yeah. It's like I guess technically speaking there are plenty of reasons why like these things don't happen. But like as someone who's only been around for the internet, like it's just losing media is something that shouldn't happen like nowadays. Like we have the technology to prevent it. We have the like storage space. So why does it happen? You know what I mean?
A Batgirl movie with $90 million put into it just recently became lost media before it was even released.
Not wrong.
As in, literally the files on it were deleted. Even the directors have no clue what the hell happened.
Oof.
Like, it can't even be leaked anymore. It is just gone.
It is just gone. Unfortunate.
Only unfortunate if you care about Batgirl.
Not wrong.
And as someone who hates cape shit, sure, I hate that it's lost media, but at least it's Batgirl.
At least it's just Batgirl. Not anything more important.
Indeed.
It's like, I myself am not a super big fan of superheroes, but like, I'll admit there's some decent stuff out there for them.
They all feel the exact same to me. Except,
Unders-
well, okay. I say that, but the thing is, I actually do like Spider-Man, but specifically local scale Spider-Man.
Local scale Spider-Man.
Yeah, you know, when he's actually being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and not, you know, oh hey, I'm working with the Avengers fighting this cosmic threat.
Understandable. That being said, I do think, so like, local scale Spider-Man, easily one of the best role models, because, like, he just is. I don't think there's any argument. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely agree.
And I'm assuming, that makes me wonder, how do you feel about the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies?
Who?
The not the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy, but like, or no, the Amazing Spider-Man duology. That's the one. I'm stupid. Don't ask.
So, I never actually watched a Spider-Man movie. I've only ever read comics.
Would you believe me if I said, until recently, that was true of me? And then the only Spider-Man movie I saw was, of all things, Spider-Man No Way Home. Notably the last Spider-Man movie to come out, at all. Or, like, most recent, I suppose, would be more accurate. But, like, I did not watch, the Sam Raimi trilogy. I did not watch the Amazing Spider-Man duology. I did not even watch, Homecoming or Far From Home, the prequels to No Way Home, right? I literally just saw No Way Home. But yeah, you said
Yeah.
comics?
Yeah. Like, I've never actually watched a Spider-Man film. I've seen a few of the animated films, but didn't really care for any of them.
Hmm.
Like, my hatred of, like, Superman films, superhero films, God.
I mean, that being said, I don't think anyone would fault you for hating Superman films specifically.
Oh, I hate Superman in general.
Understandable. But yeah, your hatred of superhero films?
Yeah, my hatred of superhero films goes all the way back to... God, I'm not even sure how old I was when the first Iron Man film came out.
That was like 2008? 7?
Maybe. I don't know, but I remember my father used to watch that shit, like, twice a week. Like, Dad, please stop.
It's like, Dad, you have to feed your family. You can't just keep watching Iron Man.
It was okay the first time.
Now imagine how it is the 7,000th time.
So that was the beginning of my hatred of cape shit.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that he did not have a cape.
Iron Man indeed does not typically use a cape.
No cape.
But yeah, that was the beginning.
That was the beginning. And then just every other superhero movie that I was forced to watch was like...
Yeah.
It's all spectacle, no substance.
Yeah.
Which, even as a kid, like, I wasn't really one for spectacle.
Understandable. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of the same way, and I think that's why, I've mentioned several times my, relationship with Xenoblade 2, I think is the best way to put it. And, easily the worst part about the game to me is how long the game spends getting certain things across, whether that's, spending an hour long in cutscenes between story chapters of gameplay, or, worst offender, really, not even getting, like, story across in those cutscenes, but just spending an hour literally fighting. That is the worst part of Xenoblade 2 to me, and if you could cut down some of that, if you could cut that down to maybe 20 minutes tops, like, each time, or maybe even, like, you know, go even further and make, like, a 5-minute fight tops, then I would probably love it, like... But as it is now, I'm afraid to make more progress because I'm afraid to get trapped in another hour-long cutscene.
See, honestly, that's how I'm feeling with Xenoblade 3. Like, it feels like every 5 minutes I'm hit with a 10-minute long cutscene. Like,
Are the cutscenes in 3 longer than the ones in 2?
I don't think they're longer, but they're definitely a lot more.
Damn. Because, like, I feel like Xenoblade 1 manages to strike that balance, but Xenoblade 2...
Yeah, I agree. Xenoblade 1 strikes a perfect balance.
Yeah.
Even though I prefer Xenoblade 2, I do think Xenoblade 1 is better in a lot of ways.
Yeah. And I prefer Xenoblade 1 for obvious reasons, but, I can respect Xenoblade 2 as a game. I just am not a fan. I'm not sold. And I'm, like, how far into the story? Like, chapter 6?
Yeah, although, to be fair, Chapter 7 is when the story, like, actually really picks up.
Which, in terms of pacing, not a great look. Not a great look in terms of pacing. Your story should not pick up a full day's worth of gameplay into the game.
Meanwhile, I'm just looking at Final Fantasy XIV, like, yeah, the first 50 levels don't exist.
I mean, even then, Final Fantasy XIV, like... I don't know, it's an MMO. Like,
The thing is, though, it has a really good storyline.
does it just not start for those first 50 levels?
The first 50 levels is the A Realm Reborn storyline.
Hmm.
After that is Heaven's Ward. Heavensward, which Heavensward story, absolutely fantastic. Stormblood's storyline so far has been decent. Definitely not as hooked on it as I was Heavensward. And then after that is Shadowbringers, which I've heard is like absolutely incredible. And then Endwalker, which I've heard the same thing.
See, I'm an old school Final Fantasy person. I've finished 1 through 4, and I've gotten most of the way through 5. I just can't bring myself to do the last, like, big chunk of the game. But, like, as someone who loves old school Final Fantasy, it's like, I'm kind of afraid to move on, but at the same time, I can't wait to see what else is in store for me. I just need to finish 5 first. I don't know why I haven't. I ask myself this question like every day and then go proceed to do something else and force myself to ask the question again. This was a bad idea.
Yes. So was that progress for you?
Technically speaking, but I've made it to that screen before.
Okay. So in that case, we're actually at the exact same screen.
Nice. But yeah, I love old school Final Fantasy. Like, Final Fantasy IV recently, became a contender for one of my top 3 favorite games. Being either Chrono Trigger, Tales of Symphonia, or Final Fantasy IV. I will admit it knocked Kingdom Hearts 2 out of that spot, but that being said, I still do love Kingdom Hearts. After all, I'm doing a series on it.
Yeah, see, my favorite Final Fantasy is still 6.
I still need to play 6. 6 is the one I'm looking forward to the most, but I'm not going to start it till I finish 5.
Understandable.
I know there's no relation, like, obviously, if I've made it between 1 through 4. I know Final Fantasy games aren't related, but either way, I still...
Of them are.
Wait, what?
A few are. And
This
I'm not
is
even
true.
talking the ones that share the same number.
Because, like, which ones are in the same world? Like the Iblis world or whatever?
Ivlis. It's Tactics. It's either 12 or 13. I can't remember which. I think 12. And Vagrant Story. And also the Ivlis raids in 14, if we want to count that.
Do we also count Stranger of Paradise with Final Fantasy 1 or no? Because that's a separate world, but like...
Well, no, it's the same world. It's a prequel.
No, I mean, separate from the Iflis world.
Maybe?
Because I'm not sure how to count Stranger of Paradise.
Honestly, I'm not sure we count Stranger of Paradise's existence.
I wouldn't know. The only thing I know is, there's a very specific meme video. I'm here to kill chaos. And my which channel was it again? Like GMX or something?
Good question.
Look it up. Can you look it up?
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Either way, get me the title of the video and the channel it's on so I can promote them.
I'm here to kill chaos by GKP.
GKP. Yeah, that one's a good one. I love that video. It's just a meme about the It came out around the game's announcement because the trailer that we were given for its announcement was the main character, who's like, I think he's called like Jack or something.
Yeah.
It's just him repeatedly stating that he's here to kill chaos and like saying various things. So this channel takes it to the logical extreme and just starts like coming up with random things to say about Jack preparing to kill chaos. And easily my favorite one has to be the line, "Mom says it's my turn to kill chaos." Kind of like Mom says it's my turn to play the Xbox. Like, I don't know. It's such a legendary video. That being said, I still am not ever sure if I'll play Stranger of Paradise. I'll probably get around to it eventually, but like,
I just read the spoilers for Stranger of Paradise and... Okay.
okay,
Um,
yeah,
like, I decided to read the plot synopsis on Wikipedia because, you know, I'm never gonna play it. Also, word of warning for anyone who uses Wikipedia, it's that time of year again.
that time of year.
To all our readers in the US, please don't scroll past this. This Saturday, for the first time recently, we humbly ask you to defend Wikipedia's independence. 90% of our readers don't give, they simply look the other way. If you are an exceptional reader who has already donated, we sincerely thank you. If you donate just $2.75, or whatever you can this Saturday, Wikipedia could keep thriving for years. We ask you humbly, please don't scroll away. If Wikipedia has given you $2.75 worth of knowledge this year, take a minute to donate. Show the world that access to reliable, neutral information matters to you. Thank you.
I am once again asking for your financial support.
Also, don't ask why the hell my voice did that.
Why is Wikipedia country?
Don't ask.
I'm going to ask.
I have lived in this state for too long.
Unfortunate.
I tried to get rid of my accent, I really did. Like, that wasn't me acting.
It just kind of slipped out.
Yeah.
See, I've heard that only comes out when you get, like, particularly angry.
That also happens for me.
But this wasn't an instance of anger, this was just an instance of being brainless.
Yes.
It do be like
The
that.
thing is, I have to actively suppress the accent.
It do be like that, don't it? Oh, man. But yeah, Stranger of Paradise, I'm scared. That's all I'm gonna say.
You should be, judging by the plot synopsis I just read.
How much worse is it than the actual plot of Final... Are you familiar with the actual plot of Final Fantasy 1?
Mostly.
When you compare it with that, how stupid is it?
Technically, this is the origin of Garland.
Checks out. But I'm 100% certain you're familiar with who Garland is as a
Yes,
person.
main antagonist.
Yeah.
And also, apparently, his first name is Jack.
Jack Garland.
Yeah.
Do we know what Jack's last name is?
Garland.
Oh, so is Jack Garland Garland?
Yes.
That checks out.
He takes up the mantle of Garland and then challenges the true Warriors of Light across multiple cycles of time, each time them becoming more powerful.
That's
because he's trying to prepare the Warriors of Light to save the world.
Wait, hold on. That's readable?
There's dialogue there?
There's text there?
The fuck?
How long have I spent in this area and not known that?
I've beaten this game and didn't know that.
How long did you spend in this area and didn't know that?
A while.
How can I get up there? Not like that. Not like that. Even with the paper there, I frankly never would have guessed.
Yeah, same.
Like, I guess it checks out, but man, I had no idea. speaking of Final Fantasy, the ones I'm most excited to play in the future are, of all the titles, probably 6 and 9. And I know that sounds like a meme, but no, those two are the ones I'm most interested in.
And Tactics. Can't forget
Of course,
Tactics.
I'm very interested in playing Final Fantasy Tactics, but I'm not actually sure if that's like available anywhere right now.
It is.
Yeah?
Okay, so Final Fantasy Tactics, there's technically 2 separate versions. There's Tactics, and then I think it's... Fuck. Oh, there it goes.
Jumper's poem. Jumping and falling, my heart is turned cold. Down here, naught can warm it. No, not even gold. So I rise and attempt once again, fearing not. My heart resting, sure that the babe remains hot. Oh, that was wonderful.
Totally worth it.
Anyway,
Okay, so
Tactics?
As I said, yeah, so Tactics, you have the original version, which was, I think, PS1 or PS2? Question mark? Oh, one of those two. Then there is Tactics War of the Lions, I think it's called. I know it's WOTL.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check this. Yeah, War of the Lions. Now, War of the Lions is available for PSP, which obviously not
Problematic.
available anymore. And the other option, where you could legally play it, Android and iOS. And it is compatible with BlueStacks or Nox.
Ooh.
So you can actually play it through an Android emulator with a controller as if you were playing it on an actual console.
Fascinating. Shit.
Now, War of the Lions dialogue is a bit different than Tactics. It's a lot more flowery, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because the original Tactics translation was very terse. It was a one-to-one translation of the original Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know how the Japanese language works. It is not a very, I don't know how to describe it, but it is a very terse language.
Mm-hmm.
It gets the point across and nothing but the point. So the original Tactics was much the same. War of the Lions, the dialogue got changed quite a bit, adding more flair to it. So it's not a one-to-one translation anymore, but basically everything has an accurate enough translation.
Mm-hmm.
But it just has a lot more, I guess, poetic styling to it.
But is it as poetically styled as Tella calling Edward a spoony bard?
No.
Disappointing.
Yeah, I strongly suggest Tactics War of the Lions.
Nifty.
Or the original Tactics if you want to go the emulation route. Well, technically any route is emulation now that I think about it, but
Not incorrect. It's whether it's licensed emulation.
yes!
Oh, man. But yeah, I do want to play Final Fantasy Tactics, and I've heard that it's one of the best stories in the Final Fantasy franchise.
100%.
But like,
I haven't even played every Final Fantasy game, but I can attest Tactics is one of the best.
have you... So I'm assuming you've played Tactics then?
Yes. Twice.
Ooh. But yeah, that being said, I also love tactical RPGs as shown by my Fire Emblem 1 Iron Man. That does not mean I'm good as them, as shown by my Fire Emblem 1 Iron Man. Joseph, you're familiar with how that went, right?
Well, I'm fully aware you've showed me the clips.
Oh god, I'm still mad. Minerva died to like a 99% miss she had. And like, technically speaking, she may have survived if I had done things differently. But the reason I attacked to begin with is because otherwise my thief would have been in danger of dying. And that was a terrible mistake. I should have just... Like, I'd already lost Julian, so Ricard was the only thief left. And I'm like, I don't want Ricard. I won't want to lose Ricard, because, like, then where's my thieving abilities? But, I probably should have just let Ricard die. Minerva's too important of a unit. Oh, man. But yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics, definitely one I'm looking forward to playing. I hope it gets some kind of, like, re-release or remaster. Speaking of re-releases and remasters, Fire Emblem, when? Like, please. FE3's tried to make, or FE3's been released twice, and it's only made, and it hasn't made it to the US legally yet. Like, I want to play FE3 legally. Like, I made a Japanese Nintendo account so I could use the Japanese Switch Online to play FE3, alright? Like, Nintendo, please. I'm begging of you. Like, I get that new mystery of the Emblem, Heroes of Light and Shadow, didn't make it to America. But, like, why, though?
See, they'll port 3 over. As a $60 game can only be obtained for a single month.
Marth's Public Execution, Part 2. Speaking of Marth's Public Execution, another YouTuber I recommend, Emblem, started out his channel arguing for unit efficiency, and now very frequently kills off every possible unit in his playthroughs.
He's
Love the
currently
guy.
doing an FE7 minimum tactician ranking run, and my god, it is incredible.
It is brutal, and it is hilarious. If you, Emblem, if you ever somehow manage to find this, which, if you do, hello. I love the work you're doing. Keep it up.
Just kill every last one of them.
Yep. Oh god. But yeah, iconic to say the least. Marth's Glock, truly the greatest weapon in fiction. And
I don't know.
mhm.
Loggers.
Loggers?
Wasn't an Emblem custom weapon, but
Was that like Pavis? No.
yes, Pavis.
Yes. Because it was a forged log in like Fates or something, wasn't
Yep.
it?
Awakening.
Awakening?
Or maybe it was Fate. Maybe it was.
I don't know,
Fate.
it's one or the other. One of the 3DS Emblem titles.
I think it was Awakening.
Probably.
It was definitely Awakening.
Yeah. Loggers is a pretty iconic weapon too. I just personally think Marth's Glock is funnier. Also, that short of to me, you are replaceable. Farewell.
God, I love that.
Yeah. Oh my god. Just actually some of my favorite content on YouTube. There's also another Fire Emblem content creator I love to watch, Don151. If you somehow manage to see this, wonderful work you're doing. Keep it up. I loved the FE6 draft race.
Against himself.
Yes. Don, Bon, Bon, Pon, Pon, and Con Con. Truly some of the most iconic performances I've ever seen. See, I wanted to do an FE6 draft race with some of my friends, but, like, that didn't end up happening for various obvious reasons. And,
We did a draft race, but it wasn't FE6.
we did a Three Houses draft race, and,
I
I
don't
grabbed
wanna
2
talk about
warpers.
that.
I left one. Like, we had 3 people out of the 3 warpers in the game. And, like, myself and the other person running that race grabbed a warper early on, right?
Yeah, because Sheldon
Joseph.
grabbed Lysithea.
Yeah. Sheldon grabbed Lysithea, I grabbed Manuela to try and make things easier for Joseph. Joseph did not pick Linhardt. I even warned him, like, 3 rounds in, hey, you're gonna pick up that second warper? And I'm like, I don't know, it's your last chance, my guy. And then he picked someone else. And I'm like, alright, guess I'm taking Linhardt since he's literally the last unit available.
No one ever said I'm smart.
Needless to say,
We don't talk about how that went.
we talk about how that went. We talked
We don't
about
talk about how that went.
We didn't even race to the finish. I received 2 official withdrawals.
Yeah, I had to go for dinner.
That being said, it's not like we can't, you know, save the game, because that's a thing that games can do nowadays.
No, it's not.
Maybe it isn't.
Not in a speed run.
Oh man. I also tried to get them to agree with a Fire Emblem Awakening draft race, but despite all of us having Awakening, that didn't end up going. Mostly because I hadn't finished Awakening at the time. I still haven't finished Awakening, but that's personally because it just doesn't hold my interest as a game. I don't know why.
And it would be difficult for me to now, mostly because my 3DS's battery doesn't really work properly anymore.
Damn. So not only is the 3DS dead as a system, but your 3DS is dead as a system as well.
Yeah, I'll have to get a replacement battery. Which sucks, because the 3DS is my all-time favorite system.
Mine's still the PS2, but the 3DS is really good.
I mean, 3DS does have my all-time favorite games.
Remind me, Stellar Glow?
Etrian Odyssey 4.
Oh, it was worth a shot.
Stellar Glow is up there, don't get me wrong. Like, I definitely put Stellar Glow in my top 10.
Understandable.
It was like, okay, number 1, obviously EO4.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, I'd probably say Rabby Ribby.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, probably Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight's really fucking good. I would know. I've streamed it twice. I've streamed 2 separate runs of it on this channel. Only one of which I accomplished the goal I set out for.
Let's see. 4, I would probably put Etrian Odyssey 3.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be the end of the Etrian.
Hmm.
I guess I'd put, like, Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom as number 5.
Understandable. Speaking of, I can't wait for the day I get, I decide to collect all the Toho games currently available on Steam and play them in Japanese. It's gonna be great, trust me.
No, you have to just use TH crap.
See, TH crap is wonderful, but I think it'd be funnier if I literally had no idea what I was doing, even though I know what I'm doing.
Understandable.
That being said, I still suck at bullet hell in general.
So which number was I up to?
I think 4? I could be wrong, because we've...
I think it was 5, because I think 5 was Legacy.
Yes, 5 was Legacy, 4 was, like, Hollow Knight or something, and you had the EO games before that.
So 6, I would say probably Disgaea 1.
I love Disgaea 1. It's such a good game.
Like, even though the rest of the games are technically better from a gameplay perspective, Disgaea 1 just holds a special place.
Disgaea 1 is wonderful. I love it so much. There's a lot of stuff that's really good about it. That being said, I still would say my favorite part of Disgaea 1 has to be just, like, the story. Like, I love the story being told there.
Definitely.
Oh my god, I fucking cried. I cried at the end. Such a good story. I would love to play Disgaea 1 on stream.
So 7, I'd probably say Eve.
Eve is really good. I ended up playing the original freeware version of the game. And Joseph was there for that. Really good.
Fantastic.
It has such great atmosphere and just like pacing, and would highly recommend. Spelled IB. And remember, it's a freeware game, so you can go ahead and find it somewhere.
Although there is a newly released version that costs $10.
Indeed.
Supports the original creator. Has
Yeah.
new puzzles, new graphics. I don't think it has any new story content.
But either way, that version of the game is amazing too.
Agreed.
You can find it on Steam. Really
And
good.
the translator for it is still the original translator of the freeware version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, highly recommend that one as well.
Let's see. Number 8, I'll probably say Stella Glow.
Stella Glow's, yeah. I knew it was somewhere up there.
Like, it's definitely in my top 10. Number 9, probably Toho Luna Nights.
I've been meaning to play Luna Nights. I picked that up recently. I might make it like... If I hadn't decided on doing the 3D trilogy for Mario, I would have made that my next Wednesday, I think.
I mean, you could do it, like, in between some of them, because Luna Nights does not take long at all to complete. Like, an average first playthrough only takes about 2 or 3 hours.
Hmm.
Like, even without knowing any speedrunning tricks.
Fuck.
I respect it.
Speaking of not knowing any speedrun tricks.
Yeah. Number 9, this will be a weird one. But I'm going to put technically 7 different games together.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and Black, White, Black 2, and White 2.
I do love all of those. I think they're the, like, Gen 3 and Gen 5, easily, some of the best generations of Pokemon that Pokemon has to
100%.
offer. Like, easily. Like, don't get me wrong, I love, like, Gen 1 and 2, but Gen 3 is really where the games actually become playable.
Yeah.
That being said, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, also really good. Would recommend. If they ever get possible to obtain.
Without, costing $200.
Yeah. But yeah, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, really where the games start to be playable, and I think that it's just also where they get, like, really good pacing and gameplay. Black 2, White 2, as well as Black, White, I think that's just flat out the best Pokemon has to offer. Like,
I agree.
They went all out for those titles, and frankly, it shows.
I do think Gen 5 is better than Gen 3, but Gen 3 has the nostalgia value for me.
Yeah, and even so, Gen 3's really good on its own. And
Yeah,
speaking of,
Gen 3 is fantastic.
Speaking of, Gen 4 is really good too, but it's just not quite, like... It somehow feels less polished than Gen 3, and, mainly I blame that on the health scaling. Holy shit.
I was about to say, we don't talk about the health
Gen
bar.
4 battles are really slow, and that's, like, the only problem. But, like...
Have you ever seen a Blissey get hit with an Oko?
Oh my god. If you look up that video, be sure you have, like, what is it, 2 minutes on hand?
I think so, yeah.
It unironically takes 2 minutes for a Blissey's HP to scale from 100% to 0. It's hilarious.
It is awful.
Other than the HP scaling, though, which causes battles to come to a standstill very frequently, Gen 4 is pretty good. Heart Gold, Soul Silver doesn't have those same issues, really. So, would recommend those. And Gen 5, I've said it before, they went all out. This is the best Pokemon has to offer, just flat out. Like, Gen 6, we don't talk about Gen 6 on this channel.
Agreed.
Gen 7 was alright. I didn't hate playing Gen 7, but it didn't really stick out in my mind. That being said, your boy Guzma, one of my favorite fictional characters. I love him, unreasonable amount.
Where's the Guzma mod for Strive?
I'm waiting for it. You ever want to see destruction in human form? Oh god, I remember the most specific meme, just ya boy Guzma memes. Do you remember those?
Yes.
I loved Guzma memes.
But yeah, so number 10 on my top 10, probably a cheat answer. Puyo Puyo Tetris.
I don't think that's cheat. Puyo Puyo Tetris is a good game in its own right, and it combines two good games in their own rights.
Exactly. The reason I love Puyo Puyo Tetris is because I love both Puyo Puyo and Tetris, so it's like, oh, 2 games in one.
Yeah.
But then again, if I put 7 games in one spot on the list, I feel like I can put 2.
That being said, Pokemon games don't tend to be super distinct from each other, but like...
I mean,
So-
I guess you could consider that really only being 4 games with the
Yeah.
Pokemon. Because Ruby Sapphire,
Then you got Emerald as a
Black,
standalone,
White,
then Black White, and
and then-
Black 2 White 2.
yeah.
Yeah. That being said, I never got to my thoughts on Gen 8. I never got out of the wild area because the way I play Pokemon actively shoots me in the foot there.
Don't worry. Honestly, the wild area, in my opinion, was the worst part of Gen 8. Minus the whole not being able to turn off the XP share.
I'm glad that I'm not the only person that annoys. I don't know. I don't think Gen 8 would be all that bad if I actually played it, but like, oh my god, I can't. Because the way I play Pokemon is I catch every Pokemon available in a route, and then move on. That's not a thing you can do in Sword and Shield. That's
I mean,
just...
technically it is, only because the fact that the ones you can catch are actually limited by your badge.
That checks out, but either way, starting off, that's still way too many to catch.
Yeah.
I don't... See, funny thing about Gen 7, I don't remember much about my playthrough of Gen 7, because, frankly, it didn't really stand out to me. What I do remember is I only ever lost 2 encounters in the entire game. Both of them were Hala. Both of them... One was Trial Captain Hala, and the other was Elite Four Hala. Both times I lost, I crit his Mankey, activating its Anger Point, and from there it just swept my teams both times. Because if you don't know what Anger Point does, in response to getting crit, it maxes out its attack stat, raising it by 6 stages. It was awful. It was also hilarious, but it was awful. But yeah, I'm not sure what my top 10 are. I've already said my top 3 are Final Fantasy IV, Chrono Trigger, and Final Fantasy IV, Chrono Trigger, and shit, what did I just say? Tales of Symphonia, right? Those 3 in any order. Honestly, it changes every day. After that, I said 4 would probably be Kingdom Hearts 2. I think Kingdom Hearts 2 is just flat out the best Kingdom Hearts game. I would say don't at me, but honestly, if you think any other Kingdom Hearts game is better, I can respect it. Unless it's Birth by Sleep, in which case, no. I can't respect that.
Melody of Memory is the best.
It's not a good rhythm game, but it's got good music, is the problem. Because I think Kingdom Hearts has some amazing music. Yoko Shimomura, as a composer in general, absolutely fantastic. Love her work in Kingdom Hearts in particular, but she does amazing work on so much other stuff. It's, like, amazing. Her resume is stacked. But, like... Shit. But, like, yeah, Melody of Memory I have a lot of conflicting thoughts on. Mostly because, various rhythm game things. But, anyway, other than that,
See, as someone who actually plays rhythm games, I saw that gameplay and just...
died inside.
No.
Yeah,
No.
it is an awful rhythm game, I'll give it that. But, as a continuation of Kingdom Hearts, if you don't actually, like, put any stock into it, it's probably fine. If you do put stock into it, then, have a good time. But, yeah. So after Kingdom Hearts 2, I think next up on my list, probably Celeste. Celeste is really fucking good.
Really good.
Celeste, unironically, when I played it through on my channel, helped me through a very rough time in my life.
See, I probably wouldn't put Celeste in my top 10, but it's definitely in my top 20.
Understandable. After Celeste, I'd probably put Hollow Knight. I love Hollow Knight. I suck at it, as shown by my various streams of it, but that being said, I don't think I'm too awful at it.
Yeah, I mean, we've done multiple speedrun races. I think you've won a few of them.
I've won maybe, like, 3 of them, but, like... This is coming from someone who had, like, 100 hours in the game, speedrunning someone who unironically had, like, 500. Like, isn't that roughly a good estimate?
That's a good estimate for my amount of time on the PC version.
Hold on, I thought you only had, like, 200 on the PC version and, like, 300 elsewhere.
I have about 200 that's cataloged on the PC version.
Right.
But there was a long-ass time that I didn't have internet.
Right. So like...
all I could really play were the things I had downloaded, which were Hollow Knight, Crosscode, and Nuclear Throne.
But yeah, Hollow Knight, really good game. Highly recommend. Just, Team Cherry, I'm so excited for Silksong. I cannot wait.
I will sacrifice Mossbag if it's necessary.
Some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make.
I mean, I think the entire Hollow Knight community is ready to sacrifice Mossbag if it means getting Hollow Knight. Or Silksong, I mean.
Oh my god. Speaking of Silksong, Hornet, wonderful character. We don't see much of her, and that's why I'm excited for Silksong. Because I think there's a lot of stuff about Hornet that needs to be expanded upon. Just like in terms of, I don't think we'll be getting this in Silksong, but in particular, I really want to know more about her relationship with Hera.
So what you want to do is bonk to the left, but not at full power.
Nifty. What is in here? Do you say anything? Yes, apparently. You shall never make it to the Babe of Legend. Even if you succeed, she would refuse you. You are doomed to fail. I read it in your soul. For you are an insignificant, small, and ugly You don't have to call me out like that.
La creatura.
I knew that already. What's up here? Intel jump. Bright Crown Woods. Fuck. I'm stuck in the snow. It's just like going to school in winter.
I wouldn't know.
Got him. Fuck. I got caught. Shit. Not being able to walk is surprisingly a pretty big hamper on your mobility in this game.
Very much so.
For a game
There's
called
a
Jump
reason,
King, you do a lot of walking.
There's a reason Ghost of the Babe is painful, and it's not just the water physics.
Ah!
Although the water physics definitely don't help. The water physics are suffering.
This is true of pretty much any platformer.
Not just any platformer, anything.
This is true.
Including reality.
I agree, I cannot swim. That being said,
I
I do come from a desert, so I have a reason to not be able to swim, but like... Oof. I hate swimming.
See, I actually do like swimming. I'm terrible at it, but I do like swimming.
See, when I do it, it's called drowning.
Bonk.
This is frustrating. Intel jump. What is this? Can I do anything with this?
You can walk.
Nifty. Not my best play.
At least you landed there.
No! Okay, we're good. There was some visceral fear there. That's not a wall!
So you might recognize this layout just a bit.
I do not.
It's basically a layout that you've already seen, except there's no wall. The Red Crown Woods.
I would check out. That did not work how I thought it would.
I think the best bet might be bonking to the... Yeah.
Okay, that one is a wall. Intel jump. I think I want to make it... Come on.
You're able to jump to the left, I think.
Not like that, that's for sure. Oh, this is gonna be... Is this the way I'm supposed to go?
To be honest, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure this is a separate path.
But is this like... would you happen to know if this is like a DLC thing, or if this is just another
It might
option?
be, 'cause I don't remember this.
First area in New Babe Plus.
So that's what this is?
Yeah,
Wait, so can I...
you can do it.
Does... Huh. Interesting. I thought that would be New Game Plus, but no, apparently.
Oh, actually, no, you do need to get an item first.
Would it be the... So, alright, I guess I'll tackle this some other time.
Yeah, it's the crown from beating normal game.
Because I was gonna say I thought that would be a New Game Plus thing. In case it isn't obvious with a name like that. I may be stupid. Not back here. No! Not back here.
On the bright side, you've made some good progress already.
This is true.
There's in like the whole 2 screens of progress today.
Because I made it to Bargainburg technically within like the first 3 hours, but like it's been an hour since I made it to the start of the funny thing.
Yeah.
Not that I can do it yet, but ow. I hate that jump so much. That being said, I feel like that's the point of pretty much every jump in the game.
At least anything that funnels you into a slope.
Yeah.
Because, like, this area is designed to be forgiving.
Relatively, yeah.
I mean, you fall, you just go back to the beginning of just one obstacle.
Yeah.
Like, this could be a Celeste level.
Not
Or
wrong.
Room, I should say. Because one of the things with Celeste is it is not punishing at all. It is
This is true.
challenging, but it's not punishing, and that's what makes it so fair.
Yeah. Not that this
Like,
game...
they took-
Not that punishing games aren't fair, but like, it
Yeah.
depends. It depends on the extent, really.
It's like they took NES hard, but made it not punishing.
Yeah.
Like, NES platformers, a lot of them are brutally difficult. But where most of that challenge comes from is the fact that if you die,
You start from
you
the
end up
beginning.
having not just the beginning of the level, but if you die too many times, you restart all the way from the beginning of the game.
Yeah. And, like, this is one of the reasons why, I claim to love Ninja Gaiden, like the original NES. And I do, but there's a reason I haven't beat it. Same holds true for NES Castlevania. Hold on, did I ever make it to 10 on my list? No, I don't
Maybe?
think...
I don't remember.
I don't think I did, because let's see. So there's my top 3, which I went over several times. There's my... Next was Kingdom Hearts 2, then I think I said Celeste, then I think I said Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
I think we just kind of stopped our discussion there.
Entirely possible.
After Hollow Knight, I'd probably put, The Messenger.
Understandable.
Messenger,
good game.
really good platformer. I cannot wait for the studio's next game. Sabotage Studios' next project is some RPG titled Sea of Stars, coming out 2023 sometime, I think. And I am so excited. I can't wait to see what they do with it. After Messenger, which I think that's like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I
think it was 7.
Yeah, so if that's 7, I think after that I'd put very interesting pick here, but I think I'd say StarCraft 2. Very odd pick to say the least out of everything I've said so far, but I think StarCraft, very fascinating world, very interesting gameplay. I love it, and I think the story being told across StarCraft 1 and 2, unironically, really good. Like, really good story.
Only StarCraft wasn't owned by Blizzard.
This is true. Activision Blizzard dropping the ball since they joined. Blizzard on its own was okay, for the most part, somewhat. Then Activision happened, and not to say Blizzard didn't have problems before, especially with all the stuff that came to light.
Yeah.
Not recently, but like, just I think I could end it came to light. I really wanted more from Blizzard, but I guess these things just don't happen, do they?
I'm just waiting for Blizzard to die.
Like, I don't think it's right for Blizzard to die, but they definitely need to reform. And, like... Because they had some genuinely good stuff. Like, Warcraft 1 through 3, I think, pretty highly regarded, you know? Diablo's 1 and 2. StarCraft's 1 and 2. That's kind of the end of it, really.
You're not gonna mention Heroes of the Storm.
See, Heroes of the Storm, it's flat out not really a good game, but I love it. Heroes of the Storm, best way to describe it for me is like a guilty pleasure. I know it's not good. I know it's, well, it's dead now, like, officially. Kind of makes me... Wait, what?
Seriously?
Yeah, they've put it in long-term maintenance mode, meaning they're not adding any new content. Most we're gonna get is like balance patches, I guess, maybe. Last character was introduced 2 years ago.
Oh.
Heroes of the Storm has been dead for a while, and it, like, everyone knew it. Everyone knew it. But it still makes me sad that it's dead. Because, like, again, it comes back to, it's a celebration of, like, all that stuff from before. Like, it's a celebration of, like, Diablo's 1 and 2, Warcraft's 1 through 3, StarCraft's 1 and 2. And I think those are really good games, even if the environment that created them wasn't super, amazing. And, On that note, Diablo 3. I don't like Diablo 3.
Really, Diablo 3 sucks.
Diablo 3 is awful, and see, the worst part about it to me is that if you want to play the game with any semblance of challenge, you have to beat it like 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
Like, that is just awful to me, because Diablo's not really supposed to be a very forgiving franchise. Like, Diablo 2, I think Diablo 2 is an amazing game. That being said, I haven't made it very far, but
I've beaten it.
Diablo 2, amazing experience overall. Wonderful. Diablo 3, not doing it. Not doing it for me. But anyways, after StarCraft, which I think we said was 7?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
It was 7 or 8. After
I can only count to 4.
Understandable. After StarCraft, I'd probably say, like, Guilty Gear. As for which Guilty Gear game, I feel like Strive's just my personal favorite, but that's just because I think XR and XX are definitely better games, I feel like. But Strive's the one I can actually play, because I'm
bad.
I'm not exactly known for being, dexterous. Let's just leave it at that.
Don't worry, neither am I. There's a reason I use a keyboard.
Yeah, Guilty Gear Strive, absolutely wonderful presentation, absolutely amazing. Honestly, I think, not only is its presentation gorgeous, but, like, music, top tier, like, top notch.
Agreed.
That being said, Guilty Gear's always had, like, godly music. I will say there are some, like, Guilty Gear songs that I prefer to every Strive theme. But, like, every Strive theme is fantastic in its own right. And, like...
Best Guilty Gear song.
I'm gonna have to say Divide My Heart, personally.
Robo-Kai theme.
Korean or Holy Orders, question mark.
Holy Orders, question mark.
Holy Orders, question mark is an experience. Everybody go... If you're either in the chat right now or you're watching the VOD later, go and listen to Holy Orders, question mark right now. It is an experience.
Fun fact, when the Accent Core rollback beta first came out, Holy Orders question mark was reported as a bug several times.
It is hilarious. I love the fact that Holy Orders question mark exists. And it's the theme of one of the best characters in the franchise. Which is so weird. But it's true.
I agree. Now, with that said, Holy Orders question mark quite obviously is not actually my favorite Guilty Gear song, even though I did torture myself by listening to it for 4 hours straight.
That's not torture. What are you talking about? That being said, go ahead and also, if you're done with Holy Orders question mark, listen to Infinitum Vortex, which is Robo-Kai's theme from the Guilty Gear 2 XX's Korean OST. Absolutely full of amazing music.
Indeed, like, God, Infinitum Vortex is just so good. So much better than Holy Orders question mark. I'm glad Robo-Kai got an actual theme.
Yeah. Other than that, go ahead and say your favorite Guilty Gear song, and that was a bad move.
I'm gonna have to say, so out of the vocal themes, because I do very heavily distinguish those.
Yeah.
It would either have to be the ship,
Understandable. The ship is amazing.
Icarus,
Icarus is wonderful. Oh my god, I
or
love Icarus.
Blank.
Or which one?
Blank.
Blank? Understandable.
Yes. Like, those three all absolutely god tier. So is Divide My Heart, don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
I prefer those three.
Speaking of, Icarus would probably also make my top 3 vocal themes, and other than that, I'd put Lily.
Yes! Oh
Lily
my
is
God,
so good. Holy...
I
It's
cannot
such
tell
a...
you how often I listen to Lily.
It's such a nice song. It's like... It's so nice. I cannot put it into words.
one that really doesn't have any right to be as just relaxing and good as it is, Birthday Train.
Birthday Train is so good too. Like, this is
Like,
just
not for a fighting game, but
like it's not great for a fighting game, but Birthday Train it has this like warm, nostalgic feel to it somehow, and like it's so nice and comforting to hear.
another fantastic one. In the Name of Heaven.
In the Name of Heaven is so good. Like, if y'all haven't heard Guilty Gear music, give Guilty Gear music a listen. A bunch of XR vocal tracks will leave you reminded of, like, rock, just rock and metal in general. A lot of them are actually much more, like, easy to listen to in a way.
Yeah, they're
like,
very simple.
Lily and Icarus, as well as, which ones in particular? Like, Name of Heaven.
Yeah, Name of Heaven. Blank.
They're all very, like, soulful and slow. And Birthday Train kind of fits in that category too. Coming Home is so good. Oh, I love Coming Home. If you like, this is gonna be a curse statement. It is the sweet home Alabama of the Guilty Gear universe in a good way.
Yeah, that is a curse statement. Never say that again.
I will probably say it again. But it's like in the sort of like feel good nostalgic, like back to what you know way. That being said, I'm notably not from Alabama.
I've been to Alabama.
Terrible mistake.
My brother lived there for a while.
How'd that go?
He doesn't live there anymore.
Correct.
He also lived in Tennessee for a while.
How'd that go?
He doesn't live there anymore.
Correct. I can't say that. Oh my god. Guilty Gear, absolutely recommend their soundtracks. They've got some really light and like soulful stuff, like what we've been talking about. They've also got some really heavy and hard-hitting tracks, like a lot of Strive's vocal themes fit that. Let's see. Divide My Heart does. Storyteller. Oh my god, Storyteller is such a fun song. I love Storyteller.
Let's see. Another fantastic one, Dice.
Dice is nice. There's also can't forget Big Blast Sonic. Big Blast Sonic.
Yeah.
Such a fun song. I think about that song daily. Like I think about all of these songs daily, but like Big Blast Sonic occupies a special place in my heart. Not quite as special as Divide My Heart.
But another fantastic one, even though I don't really count it as a Guilty Gear song.
Mm-hmm.
Six Black Heaven's Guns.
Because that was from the Guilty Gear BlazBlue crossover concert, right?
Correct.
Still really good, though.
Really good song, and it is in XR.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of,
not really a Guilty Gear song.
Storyteller and I think it's Dice, right? Aren't technically XR songs either.
Indeed.
They come from, what was it? A Japan exclusive, like, pachinko game?
Guilty Gear Vast Edge XT.
Yeah, Guilty Gear Fast Edge XT. It's like a Japan exclusive pachinko machine or something.
Well, it was a...
Or it's a mobile game, isn't it?
Mobile app. Yeah, it was a mobile game that was a cross between pachinko and visual novel.
Yeah. It is such a weird experience. I haven't experienced it, but it sounds so goofy.
Its story content is canon.
Indeed. And important for the most part.
Indeed.
Anyways, I think, after, all the vocal themes, let's talk about the non-vocal themes. I love a lot of the Guilty Gear 1 soundtrack.
See, I am a huge proponent of the XR character themes.
XR character themes are really good, too. That being said, my favorite XR theme has to be Magnolia Eclair, Kai's theme.
Yeah, that's my second favorite. My favorite XR theme, Does the Sheep Count the Sheep?
Bedman's theme goes so hard. Oh my god.
Like, oh my... I cannot tell you how often I listen to that when I'm at the gym.
Yeah. Other than that, I think a lot of my favorites come from Guilty Gear 1. I love Writhe in Pain, which is Milia's theme, and I love Holy Orders, Be Just or Be Dead, which is Kai's theme.
Yeah. Like,
Kai has
all
some
of
banger
Kai's
themes.
themes are just fantastic.
My personal favorite tier list in that regard goes, it has to be, Holy Orders, then Roar of the Spark, then Magnolia Claire. But do keep in mind, Magnolia Claire is absolutely a banger. Like, it slaps. Other than that, I put Soul's, Guilty Gear 1 theme, which is, what was it called? Keep Yourself Alive.
Yeah.
Then we have some XX themes. XX themes are amazing. Blue Water, Blue Sky.
Flag flying.
Keep the Flag Flying. Oh my god, that's such a good one. Let's see. There's the Korean OST, as we've talked about before. Guilty Gear X's Korean OST is amazing.
Which, apparently, it's actually been discussed they're going to be bringing that to Strive in the form of fishing.
Ooh, that's gonna be wonderful. But yeah, Guilty
We
Gear.
already have the other accent core themes for those characters. But Daisuke has even stated that they're thinking about bringing the Korean versions in.
Yeah, and this can only end well. Those are all amazing songs.
I just hope that also means we get Infinitum Vortex alongside
Holy Orders
Kai.
question mark. Oh my god, if Robo Kai returns to Strive, how are they gonna make him in Strive? Because, like...
RoboKai can't return. At least not in his current form.
What are you talking about? Venom's Bakery is going wonderfully.
Now, what I hope is they bring back Venom and have RoboKai be almost a replacement for Bishop Runout.
That would be hilarious. Oh my god. Yeah, RoboKai is that character we were saying about that for some reason is unironically one of the best characters in the franchise. I don't know how they did it, but they turned this character who had every reason to be like a boring clone copy character with no personality, and unironically turned him into one of the most fleshed out and like real characters.
Yeah, like initially they just made him into a comic relief character, but then Exard's story for him.
Exard's story made RoboKai so wonderful. Oh my god.
Like, unironically, without RoboKai, the Guilty Gear universe as it's known would be dead.
Indeed.
Because it was only because of RoboKai that they were able to defeat Batman, who was not the main antagonist of Exard, but he was a major one.
But yeah, Guilty Gear, absolutely amazing. I could go on for ages about Guilty Gear, but I also feel like I need to decide what number 9 on my list is. And, I think number 9 on my list would probably be, let's think about this for a moment. Oddly enough, Fire Emblem 1. It's, dated, obviously. It's, not super well balanced, but that's the fun part.
What are you talking about? Balance is Kaga's passion.
Shozo Kaka, I love you. Just flat out, keep up the good work, my guy. I haven't finished. I haven't.
Bad work.
Keep up the bad work. No, Kaga's games are great. Trust me.
And how poorly balanced they are is only a contributor to how good they are.
Dude, Vestaria Saga. I never. I haven't made it very far, but Zaid's preference weapon, his personal.
Yeah.
It's a brave story.
You're fucking joking.
No, I'm not. Vestaria Saga is such an experience. Not to mention the writing in it is amazing. Oh my god. I need to finish Vestaria Saga. Who knows, maybe I'll make that into a stream.
I need to play Vestoria Saga.
It's so good. Not
Hell,
to mention...
I have an SRPG maker. I need to make my own SRPG.
Yeah. So do I, oddly enough. Vestaria Saga, really good, but wouldn't make my top 10. Not yet, at least. After that...
Obviously, your favorite is a Dark Deity.
I wanted Dark Deity to be, like, life-changing, but it was not.
Just what the hell is the map design?
I love the concepts at play in Dark Deity, like the weapons being effective against certain armor types rather than other weapon types, I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, which actually makes more sense than the weapon triangle.
Yes, this is true. The weapon upgrade systems, wonderful. I forget his name. I think it's Alden, but like the mage you get in your starting party, unironically, his passive is literally just makes sure you get 4 stats on each level up. Makes him one of the funniest units in the entire game.
So he's essentially a guaranteed super growth.
Yeah, he's a super growth unit you get at the start of the game. It is hilarious.
That sounds fair and balanced.
Dark Deity, I once again never finished it. Made it further than Vestaria Saga, but
Which is sad considering its map design.
yeah. That being said, Kaga's idea of map design is a lot of stuff going on, to say the least.
It's better than Dark Deity's
Nothing going on. This is true. Either way, Dark Deity, I think if its map design was better, and it wasn't full of game-breaking bugs, it could have been really good. Like, I still enjoyed it for what it was, even if it wasn't, like, super duper enjoyable. But, like, it could, if it gets patched up a bit, it could probably be pretty well, like, pretty good. Anyways, back to Fire Emblem 1. It might be dated, it might be terribly balanced, and, I might be awful at it. But it's...
One of those things is not a might.
This is true. It's kind of timeless in a way. Like, okay, Fire Emblem 1 is certainly not the best way of playing Fire Emblem 1. I'd even argue playing Fire Emblem 3 in Japanese, Book 1, was a better way of playing Fire Emblem 1. That being said, Rip, Riss, and Daros, and who else was it? Who else was gone? Jake and Beck. Various units disappear in FE3 Book 1, even though it's a remake of FE1. That being said, FE1, even though it's not really the best way of playing FE1, like Shadow Dragon, better game.
Like, they did have to cut some of the characters purely due to space.
Yeah, because, keep in mind, when I say FE3 Book 1, I mean FE3 had, Book 1, which was a remake of Fire Emblem 1, and Book 2, which was its own continuation of FE1, like a sequel. And FE3 Book 1, it's just a streamlined version of FE1, which in many ways is a good thing, because FE1... I love FE1, but it's not exactly a great experience. Anyways, it's just kind of timeless, with the exception of the fact that it kind of feels awful to play. Menus and actions are not very responsive, and the game takes forever to play. Like, even if you have the gameplay speed on ×2 and you have animations off. But it still has a certain amount of, like, I don't want to say nostalgia, because I'm not old enough to have nostalgia for that time period. Like, just flat out, this is not negotiable. But it just has this, like, ancient retro charm that I love. And, like, I'm so sad that it took till the franchise's 30th anniversary for it to come over in its original form.
And then get executed.
This is true. Martha's been publicly executed. Reminds me of a very prophetic in hindsight tweet, I think it was, where someone was like, the only way Nintendo loses E3 is showing Captain Falcon's public execution.
Yes!
And then that happened because
trailer.
Kazuya Mishima from Tekken made it into the game, and it showed him throwing Captain Falcon off a cliff. It's like, well, I guess it happened, and they still somehow won E3. Somehow.
Just some random Twitter user, the gift of prophecy?
Yeah.
Thank you, Apollo.
But, yeah, after FE1, I might say, I love the Game Boy Advance, and of all possible things that could be number 10, it might be F-Zero GP Legend. It was, I miss F-Zero. Everyone misses F-Zero. And by that, I mean the people who know what F-Zero is miss F-Zero. Everybody else knows Captain Falcon, and that's it.
See, I played FE0, yes.
Yes.
I have played FE0.
Fire Emblem Cypher's really fun.
Indeed. But no, I played F-Zero on the NES Switch Online.
Super Nintendo Switch Online? Yeah.
Maybe. I can't remember which.
F-Zero was an SNES game.
Okay. Either way, not my style.
Understandable.
Mostly because I literally got sick while playing it.
That being said, the SNES game is like, oof. There's F-Zero X on the 64, which is like, it was the series foray into 3D, and as a result, bit unclean as a game, but it's still fine. F-Zero X or F-Zero GX on the GameCube is where it's at. But F-Zero GP Legend.
Color clusterfuck as the SNES one was.
Somehow,
My
yes.
problem with, yeah, then I couldn't play it. What made the SNES one so off for me were all of the various flashing colors.
Yeah, that's very understandable. F-Zero X or F-Zero X is a 3D racer with like space physics. It's very weird. And I say space physics, but that's disingenuous. It's just you're following a track in 3D that lets you move along it like upside down and such.
Yeah.
Very interesting experience, not quite my speed. GX on the GameCube, I haven't played it yet. And with the current state of the GameCube and the fact that it's an F-Zero game, probably never will, unfortunately, unless Nintendo, you know, gets on what we've been talking about this whole time and makes it available. F-Zero GX is very generally regarded as like one of the best racing experiences in terms of video games. Just because it's like crazy. But then we get to GP Legend, which is it's a return to the 2D nature of the series. And I think 2D F-Zero is actually really fun. But like the original F-Zero didn't quite capture that as well as it could have. That being said, I do love the SNES F-Zero, but I think the GBA really is where it came into its own.
See, the fact that I ended up vomiting after maybe 20
Well,
minutes
it doesn't have
of
as many
play.
flashing colors, so who knows, maybe you can
Okay.
actually play this one. GP Legend, it's not, like, amazing as a game, but it's just, like, it feels really smooth for a racing game. And, like, it doesn't feel like a traditional racing game. Because, like, with F-Zero, the whole premise is that the best way of playing it is by, like, just... This is going to sound weird for saying about a racing game, but unlike other racing games, the best way of playing it is just going fast. Like, that sounds weird in a racing game context, but, like, in, say, like, I don't know, I haven't played many racing games, but, like, Mario Kart, you can go fast, but you can't really, like, go too fast or else you're just going to get punished by other people behind you getting items and, like, you know, certain turns can't be taken very fast. But F-Zero, the whole premise is that you can take turns fast.
Like, there's actually rubber banding in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of Mario Kart is for it to constantly be tense due to the players getting items behind you.
Yeah. But, yeah, F-Zero, with its whole, like, movement being based on speed in a racing game, and, like, this includes turns, it just creates a really, like... I don't know. I think it's just really fun. And
Another fantastic racing game. Split Second.
haven't heard of it. Also, hello, the trash dude. How's it going? We're doing pretty good. I've fallen several times, but that's to be expected in this game as far as I'm aware.
Indeed.
Like that. It's going pretty good. We're just talking about some games we like. But Split Second, you say? You need
so-
to get this game well. Understandable.
So, Split Second, looking at it just from first glance, you would think that it's just your stereotypical car game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you think, okay, this is off-brand Forza. The thing is, though, the way the game is designed, you actually build up a meter for various actions, and those actions include things like drifting, as you would expect,
Mm-hmm.
drafting behind an opponent,
Ooh.
which, of course, increases your speed as well, because, I mean,
Air
you're
resistance.
drafting.
Yep.
Yeah. And the entire point of the game isn't that you're on a stereotypical racetrack. Canonically, you are filming a TV show.
Oh my god.
And as you'd expect with a Fast and the Furious style show, because it is very heavily based on Fast and the Furious,
Mm-hmm.
things blow up. A
Ooh.
lot. The thing is, though, you control the explosions.
Ooh.
Because that meter that you're building up, its main purpose is actually detonating specific parts of the map, which can be used either to, of course, hit opponents that are nearby the explosion, just knocking them out temporarily, because all of the cars are actually remote controlled.
Mm-hmm.
You can use them to open up entirely new routes that players are forced to take,
Ooh.
like blowing up a water tower, which opens up an entirely separate part of the track. You can use it to cause for instance, a van to start backing out of a parking spot, creating an obstacle that if someone hits, they blow up,
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. So it's always a strategic usage of, okay, when do I use my meter to either best impact my odds of going fast, or best impact my odds of my opponent being blown the fuck up?
That sounds amazing. Also,
And
Eric,
that's-
the trash dude says, "Oh, I know that game. I used to play the demo so much."
It is such a good game. But that's only taking into account the basic race mode. There are several modes in the game. One, for instance, where you're having to go around a track where you were dealing with multiple semis that are constantly dropping explosive barrels at you. And for every barrel that you do a near dodge of, you get points, and for every semi that you pass, you get a larger amount of points and an increase to your score multiplier. And that one's basically the survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
Although, the longer you go, the faster they start throwing barrels, and the barrels actually do become more powerful.
Interesting. Also, Aaron says, on one of the maps, a plane is landing and you can cause a flight tower to fall on you.
Yes! Yes,
checks
I
out.
love that map!
Yeah. Split second, you said?
Yeah, Split Second.
I'm gonna have to look into this.
I'm not even sure if it's still available.
It might
because
not be. Who knows?
The company that made it was, of all things, Disney Interactive Studios. Or that was the publishing company, I should say, and the development company was BlackRock Studio. Now, BlackRock Studio went out of business.
Damn.
Split Second is still available on Steam.
Ooh, how much is it?
20.
That sounds... I can deal with that.
Sadly, no online multiplayer.
Okay, never mind. I can't deal with that. It's on Steam for 20.
And
Oh,
apparently the port is terrible.
damn. That sucks. Who knows, maybe we'll get a better one someday. Or at the very least, a game with the same concept.
Yeah, like, I would absolutely love if, like, a new game with a similar premise to Split Second came out. Because another thing is, the game was even set up for a sequel at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then BlackRock Studios went out of business.
That's so unfortunate.
Like, I put in so much time to Split Second, getting the best possible car from completing every challenge in the game. Because every stage also had its own independent set of challenges. And by completing all of the challenges, you would be rewarded with a either new car or new parts for your car. And of course, different cars were better for different types of challenges.
Checks out.
Yeah, such a good game.
Man, you know what's a game that I suddenly want to play that has nothing to do with anything we've talked about so far?
Which one?
Anna's Round Table. So what, for anyone who doesn't have context, what Anna's Round Table is it's a, Fire Emblem fan-made board game. And, it is Fire Emblem itself distilled into a board game, unlike Fire Emblem Cypher, which uses the characters for a collectible card game.
Which, Cypher is still really damn
Cypher
good.
is great, don't get me wrong. But Anna's Round Table is the kind of stuff I live for. It's like, actually just PvP Fire Emblem.
See, the thing is, PvP Fire Emblem has existed already.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Fates.
I completely forgot that Fates had a PvP.
Understand? Correct.
Anyway, it's like, it's a Fire Emblem board game that plays like Fire Emblem, and I love it. I have not lost a single game against the maybe 2 people I've had play it so far. But that being said, I also love Fire Emblem a lot more than I think these people do.
See, I love Fire Emblem, but definitely not as much as you.
Yeah. But yeah, Anna's Round Table is really fun. And I'm like, I wish I hadn't scared everyone away from playing it with me.
See, it's not even so much the escaping away, it's just I play board games with my family a lot.
See, I scared Sheldon away from it.
Yeah.
I scared Sheldon away from it.
Like, even when I don't play board games, I often like to look up chess puzzles, which basically satisfies the same itch for me. On that note, chess puzzles are fun.
This is true. That being said, I suck at chess. It's hilarious.
Understandable. I'm not really good at chess. But, like, looking at endgame board states and just
It's
trying
so
to
fascinating.
understand.
How it got there. And what to do from there as well.
Yeah. Like, especially ones where it's about having to avoid getting a stalemate. Like, one of my absolute favorite chess puzzles involves 3 pawn promotions. Which, normally when you promote a pawn, obviously you're just going to go for a queen. If you promote any of these pawns to queen, you stalemate.
Interesting.
You have to underpromote to a rook, bishop, and a knight. All 3. You cannot promote to a queen, otherwise it causes a stalemate.
That is so
is-
interesting.
It is one of the most fascinating board states I have ever seen.
I'm gonna have to look for this puzzle.
I might be able to find it.
That being said, one of my favorite chess strategies is just activating Killer Queen. Gunpowder gelatine. You know the rest.
Indeed.
I had a game of chess in high school one time where, it was a casual game, but I was moving my queen so perfectly, like, in my enemy's backline, that, like, it could not be captured, and I got, like, 5 pieces out of it before I was able to safely withdraw it. It was hilarious. It was amazing. And I will never do anything that big brain again. Oh man, speaking of chess, I was reminded of FPS chess. That is an experience, to say the least.
It is a wonderful experience.
Oh my god. FPS chess, for context, if anyone doesn't know what that is it's just playing chess, except every time you would capture a piece, you instead go into a first-person shooter minigame, where each piece that's participating in the capture, being both the one capturing and the one being captured, has a different moveset. It's kind of like a hero shooter in that regard, but, like, good. And yes, I am implying that other hero shooters are bad.
This is correct.
I uninstalled Valorant. I don't believe I ever uninstalled Overwatch, but I don't think I'll ever play it again. And I uninstalled Apex. Actually, I'm not sure if Apex is uninstalled either, but I'll also probably never play that again. Anyways, FPS chess. If you like playing chess, I have mixed feelings about it, because the problem is FPS chess rewards you for your FPS skills more than your chess skills.
Like, you do still get rewarded for your chess skills in the form of being able to manipulate which matchups you actually do.
Yeah. But if you lose every matchup, then you're not winning the game.
Yeah.
I learned this the hard way. Neither myself nor Joseph here claim to be very good at FPSs, and
Or chess.
I lose on both fronts of that coin. Somehow.
I don't know. I was only good at FPS chess because grenades are dumb.
Yeah, and I mean, you at least had one thing you could rely on. I had nothing. I can't rely on the grenades, I can't rely on, like, the Queen's kit. I guess I'm somewhat okay at, like, throwing things, but, like, not really.
But I found the puzzle. I put it in responding to voice for after the stream.
Nice. But, FPS chess is a very funny experience, even if I can never win a game. That being said, it reminds me of it was published as a final project for a student from, I believe, DigiPen University, and
Yes.
DigiPen University has some interesting student projects, but I think my favorite out of all of them is a puzzle platformer from I don't know when this was, but it was a while ago. But it was a puzzle platformer called Perspective, and it's a free game.
That was
so is
also
FPS chess.
DigiPen?
Yes. Perspective was a DigiPen project, and it is such an experience. I would play it on stream, but it's very short, and
It's also one of those,
It's-
its best experience.
yeah, you
like,
cannot get the
yourself.
same. You cannot get the same experience by simply watching someone play it. It has to be played. Like, oh my god, Perspective blew my mind when I played it.
Like, I would kill to see a full game with that design.
Yeah, like Joseph, you played it as well, right?
Yes,
What did you think of it?
it was fantastic.
It was fantastic. Oh my god,
Just the sheer concept behind its mechanics. And,
it
like,
is
the way,
so good.
like,
If you like puzzle platformers, this is a really good one.
yeah,
Like, it's very
all of
short.
the minor intricacies to how the mechanics work just meshed together so well.
It's like, it feels supernatural to play. And I don't mean like supernatural as in like the one word term. I just mean it feels incredibly like intuitive. Like, solving the
even
puzzles
who's
might not
bad
be.
at puzzles.
Yeah. Solving the puzzles might not be supernatural, like, intuitive to begin with, but, like, when you get it, it's, like, the biggest aha moment, and it's, like, it's so nice. Just, again, it's just simply called Perspective. It was published by DigiPen as a project from one of their students, and, it's free on Steam. It's, like, look for it. Oh my god.
On the note of puzzle games, absolutely fantastic puzzle game that basically anybody who's into puzzle games would have already played, The Watcher.
Is this the one I'm thinking of that had that parody made of it? Or
Yes. Yes.
oh my god.
So the Watcher's main gimmick is quite literally drawing lines. But the thing is, you're constantly given new sets of puzzles that intertwine together. And every single one of these sets of puzzles changes the rules. So sometimes your goal may be, like, perfectly bisecting the puzzle such that you are left with two, like, equal sides. Other times it may be having to isolate a specific portion. You may be allowed to cross lines, you may not be able to. Every set of puzzles has its own rule set. The game doesn't tell you what the rules are. But at the same time, every puzzle set also gives you a very basic puzzle in the beginning.
To help you understand.
With a fairly obvious beginning and end. And then it expands upon it. The thing is, sometimes that beginning puzzle is a red herring. Because you will go for what is the obvious rule gleaned from that puzzle. You'll go through the next 2 or 3 puzzles in the set following that same rule. And then you'll get to the second to last puzzle, and all of a sudden that rule no longer works. So you have to go back and think, okay, what else was special about what I was doing? Because it's clearly not, for instance, separating the star and the square that you might have thought. It has to be something else. Something that I was already doing in the process of separating the star and square. But what? And in the end, you might realize that the entire time, the action you were taking was, for example, perfectly mirroring your movements across the 2 lines. So it's like, it actively takes everything you know and then spits in your face. I love The Watcher. Not a good game to play if you get easily motion sick, though.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I was feeling it, and not even in The Watcher, but like a parody game of it, I think.
Yeah, The Looker.
The Looker. Does The Watcher like have the same sort of like?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with me. It caused.
Don't worry, I had the same problem.
It caused my Portal games. If any of you saw those, I was streaming Portals 1 and 2 on my channel recently. If you saw my Portal 1 playthrough, you would know that about halfway through the campaign, I just kind of like really desperately needed to take a break and lie down because I was not feeling good. I somehow managed to avoid that with Portal 2. I don't know how.
Until like the very end.
Yeah, the very end I wasn't feeling good either. But either way, Portal 1 and 2, amazing games. Like,
yeah,
oh my god.
Game, if you don't get motion sick instantly.
And even if you
I
do
get motion sick instantly.
Even if you do get motion sickness, like I do, as long as you're responsible with it and don't like rush it or force it, there's a lot to love about Portal 1 and 2. Portal 2 has like Portal 1, amazing experience. Like it makes you feel so smart for like solving the puzzles and like navigating. Portal 2, easily some of the best writing I've ever witnessed in video game history. Portal 2 has amazing characters, and it is so much fun to hear them interacting together. Have you witnessed this at all, Joseph?
Yes.
Oh my god. It's so fun. Also, where do I go here? Because everything I've tried so far has failed.
I'm pretty sure you literally just walk right. Don't even jump. Never mind. See, I'm not sure how I got through that room, because I got through it on my first try.
Understandable. But yeah, Portal 1 and 2. Portal 1, not that Portal 2's puzzles aren't amazing, because Portal 2's puzzles are genius. Oh my god. But Portal Portal 1, I feel like the standout part of Portal 1 is just its gameplay flow and design, and like how you know, moving around and like solving these puzzles goes. But Portal 2, oh my god, the gameplay is like better than Portal 1, but the writing is on another level. I cannot tell you how funny and how like amazing the characters in that game are. Like Wheatley is so good. Oh my god. GLaDOS was amazing in the first game, but oh my god, she kills it in the second game. Oh, she's just like really good character. Like so much good about that. And of course you have the pre-recorded voice of Cave Johnson. Cave Johnson, legendary character. Voiced by J.K. Simmons, so you already know he's amazing. Just Portal 2's writing, fantastic. Its gameplay, amazing. Just everything about Portal 2. I can't believe it took me so long to play those games. I'm so stupid. And Wheatley, again, might just be one of my favorite video game characters. Like, Joseph, did you ever encounter Wheatley?
I did not.
No? Oh my god, watch my VODs. I love that guy. He's so amazing. Wheatley might be one of the funniest characters in video game history. And I relate to him a lot more than I probably should. But yeah, cast of Portal 2, all around amazing. But you go?
Wait, what?
I thought you were saying something. But yeah, cast of Portal 2, wonderful. It's an amazing game, and yeah, because of that, I think after I finish Jump King, which who knows how long that's gonna take me forever. Because I do plan on doing like New Babe Plus and what else was there? Like Ghost of the Babe.
Ghost of the Babe.
I do plan on doing those. It's gonna take me a while. Fuck. After I play.
Never punished.
Yeah, after I play through those, I might do Half-Life as my next series. I say Half-Life, but I'd probably play Black Mesa. I've just heard all around Black Mesa is a better way to experience Half-Life 1 than Half-Life 1.
Just like FE3 is the better way to experience FE1.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't wait, because if the writing in Half-Life is half as good as the writing in either Portal game, it's still going to be really good. If the gameplay is half as good, it's still going to be really good. Oh my god, I can't get over Cave Johnson. Like, he's just such a fun character to listen to. Like, Joseph, do you know anything about Cave Johnson?
The lemon rant.
That's all you need to know. That's a very iconic Cave Johnson thing. He has some really good, like, one-off quotes. And that being said, we don't really get to know much more about him, because all of his lines are pre-recorded messages. And, we don't get to see his, like, reactions to anything going on in the current, like, present of the game. But, like, either way, it's such a good, like, delivery. Not to mention, the story being told with Cave Johnson's messages, wonderful. I love it. It's so good. I know I've been gushing about Portal for, like, the past, I don't even know how long, but that's just how much of an impact these games had on me, even, like, what, like, 12, 13 years after Portal 1's release? Probably more. Like, if you're like me and haven't experienced these yet somehow, you really should. Like, would recommend. 10 out of 10. Yeah, that's all there is to that. So, do you have any other topics?
Not off the top of my head.
You know what's a topic I have off the top of my head? Since we're talking about Fire Emblem, I really need to talk about Three Houses, just like in general. I have a lot of problems with Three Houses.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, Three Houses is...
It's a fun game. It's a fun game. I enjoyed my time playing it. But oh my god.
It is a good game. I don't think it's a good Fire Emblem
It is not a good Fire Emblem game. It is not at all a great place to, like... It's a fine gateway point, like, to start off, but just know that every other Fire Emblem game is very different from Three Houses. Like, it's a great place to, like, just get an idea for the premise, but
No,
oh my
you
god.
would want to get an idea for how the gameplay works.
Yeah,
That's
like...
about it.
Like, because Three Houses, I think, it falls into a weird place where its quality of life is somehow too high for the game to be enjoyable. Like, because there are so many things about Three Houses that, like, don't work because of how much freedom it gives the player. Oddly enough, the story not being one of those, despite it being marketed to have been. The story of Three Houses, I'm just going to tell y'all right away, it does not give you as many choices as you think it does.
There was text there.
Fuck.
But yeah, Three Houses, really, there's only 2 choices that impact the story at all.
Indeed. One of which at the very start of the game, and the other of which on one specific story path halfway through the game. And only if you've met certain conditions, too.
Yeah.
That being said, the rest of Three Houses, it has some really good ideas. Like, it has amazing ideas, don't get me wrong. I think battalions are a very interesting mechanic, that really add a lot of, like, flavor and depth to the gameplay. That being said, only under specific circumstances. Wow, I can't believe I fell here. Anyway.
You got lucky there.
I got so lucky. Anyway. Three Houses again. Battalions are an interesting, like, sort of spice to the gameplay that really don't matter too much in the long run, but they're kind of nifty to play around with. That being said, the fact that you get a gambit that increases your move. Stride is easily the most broken thing in the entire game, and that's saying something because this game is full of things that are broken. Let's see. There's, oh my god, the monastery. I hate the monastery so much. Like, when I started playing Three Houses, I'm like, oh, this is fine. By the end of I played through Golden Deer first, so, by the end of Verdant Wind, I was like, oh my god, can this just never happen again? But because I played Verdant Wind, I still had Azure Moon, Silver Snow, and, Crimson Flower to go through. I could not be bothered to complete, Silver Snow or Crimson Flower. This is just a fact.
Understandable.
The problem with Three Houses, like, okay, there's a lot of problems I have with it. One, unit customizability goes way too far in this game. Everybody can be anything, and, like, it's just, like, everybody can be everything, but you've still got units with, like, very clear, progression paths that they want to follow, both in gameplay and lore. But, like, sometimes it's just kind of bad to let them do that. Like, I think a good example of this is, like, Felix. Felix wants to use swords. Wait, what?
Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking Ferdinand, not Felix. What the hell?
No. Felix wants to use swords, but, like, swords are unironically his worst weapon type, because Felix, he wants to do damage, and he wants to get a lot of hits. So as a result, axes and gauntlets are so much better for him than swords ever will be.
You know, I never even thought about gauntlets for Felix.
Because Felix has a personal skill where, like,
Yeah.
20% chance or something of activating just deals 5 extra damage on a hit.
It's not even a chance, it's just straight up activated if he doesn't have a battalion.
Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of something else. I'm referring to his crest, not his
thinking of a
personal
crest.
skill.
Yeah.
I consider the crests basically personal skills.
Understandable. But no, his personal
skill is just more damage if he gets a
battalion.
battalion. His crest is more damage if he strikes with a weapon. His crest is the one with chance activation. His personal skill just makes him deal so much damage. It's hilarious.
Yeah, his personal skill is absurd.
Yeah. His personal skill will carry you through the early game, unless you're on, like, maddening or something, in which case nothing can carry you through that, other than just pure grit, determination, and the willingness to suffer. Anyways, Felix with gauntlets, absolutely hilarious, but also it's just, like, not what he wants to do in story or in game, like, it creates this dissonance between gameplay and story. That being said, Gauntlet Felix is easily one of the funniest units in the game.
Understandable. And there is one character where the distance between what they want to do and what they should do is actually part of his story.
Mm-hmm.
Hubert.
Oh my god, that's so funny, yeah. Hubert in canon writes a note to the monastery's confessional that he wants to be a Pegasus Knight, but unfortunately that can't happen.
Because Pegasus, or Pegasi, only allow women to ride them.
Indeed. And unfortunately for Hubert, he is notably not a woman. That being said, like, I think unit customization goes too far in Three Houses. Because eventually it's just like,
Every unit's basically the same, just with a few custom skills.
yeah, like, Byleth, unironically, I think Byleth has no reason to go swords. Swords are the worst weapon class in the entire game. And that is so weird. Because, like, here's the problem with weapons in Three Houses. Swords are just flat out awful. Like, the only good swords are, like, legendary swords.
Legendary swords, and ironically enough,
The training sword.
training swords.
Yes. Because the training sword is hilariously light, has hilariously high durability and accuracy. And, like, what else? I think that's it.
It has actually good damage for its low cost.
Yeah.
And due to its speed, you're basically guaranteed to double strike and never get double struck.
Yeah, that being said, the training weapons in general are broken. Like, this applies to axes, lances, and gauntlets too,
Yeah.
but it's most obvious with the sword, because swords are the weakest weapon class, so any advantage they get is felt most. Then you've got, like, swords are just awful in Three Houses, because they have the lowest damage output, and every other weapon type is fairly accurate, so their accuracy boost is not really that appreciated.
And
Like,
because the weapon triangle doesn't exist.
the weapon triangle
in Three
doesn't
Houses.
exist, so swords versus axes isn't even technically a favorable matchup. Well, they're like the breaker skills, but you have to invest for those, and it's a lot of investment, so I don't really count that. Anyway, other than that, they tend to be locked to one range, and that's really bad in a game like Three Houses, because, like, one range doesn't let you accomplish a lot. Like, you can't chip from a distance, you can't, like, you can't, like, defend against an enemy who has, like, something at 2 range, or higher, for God's sake. Like, it's just not a very good weapon type. Then you've got lances, and lances are actually pretty good, because, they have some heft to them. Like, they hit hard. They're like heavier than swords, but that's a pretty fair trade-off because more
Or 2
damage.
range. Like 4 damage and 2 range.
Yeah, you get javelins, which are 2 range, and not to mention the relic lances tend to just be flat out better than the relic swords. Like, it's just true. Like, it's just flat out true. Like, this is why the only good sword in the game is one you get at Chapter 4. Everyone knows this sword because it's the sword Violet uses in Smash, it's the sword Violet uses in the trailers. It's the sword of the creator.
I wouldn't even say the sword of the creator is that good.
It's not that good when you get it, but like at Chapter 9 or something, it gets a buff.
I mean, yeah,
then it's fine.
Sublime Creator Sword is...
Sublime Creator Sword is fine. It's not a standout weapon, but it's the only good sword in the game.
Save for training swords.
Yeah, and I guess if you're running some like crit build on someone, you could do it like Wodow Plus or like I think Wodow Plus is like basically it. That's like the other good sword. And the training sword, of course. But anyways, lances, you get javelins, you get like short spear, I think, or maybe spear. I can't remember. But either way, the javelins are like lances are fine. They have decent hit, like they have just decent hit, might, and 1-2 range options. Not to mention the legendary lances are really good too. Like Lewin and Lance of Ruin are both really good, regardless of who you have them on.
And then you have axes.
Axes in general have the most important class skills first off, because you get like strength +2, you get like death blow. What else do you get? If you go down the War Master route with like say Felix or something, because I mentioned him wanting axes and gauntlets, and those are the weapon classes for War Master. Quick Riposte is hilariously good. Like, Joseph, do you know what Quick Riposte does? Riposte?
It is riposte. Is that the one that lets him counter first?
I
No,
think
no,
that's
that's
Vantage. Vantage is a sword thing, I think, but I could be wrong
Yeah.
about that. Either way, Vantage isn't that good in Three Houses, just because, like, it's too much investment for something you could accomplish in another way. Like,
Yeah.
if you raise authority, you get battalion Vantage.
Yeah.
Anyways, what was it? Axes. Quick Riposte, go to Seren's Forest real quick for me and read out what it does. Can you do that for me?
Will do.
Bro, this is such a relaxing stream. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, it is dumb. Like, maybe Felix isn't a great example for it, because really it's better the lower speed your character has. But, like, it is hilariously strong. That being said, it requires, like, the most investment out of any skill in the game due to being tied to a master class, but, like... It's like... It belongs to one of maybe 3 viable master classes.
Okay. Quick Riposte. If foe initiates combat while unit's HP is greater than or equal to 50%, unit makes guaranteed follow-up attack. Okay.
Do you know how good that is?
Yeah, because that allows you to be guaranteed to double regardless of speed, and with axes being a relatively slow weapon.
Yes. And, more importantly, you can combo that with Death Blow, which, for reference, Death Blow is a skill that grants you +6 might whenever you initiate combat.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that you get, like, Strength +2, and then you get, like, crazy shit like Silver Axes and stuff. Like, Silver Axes have so much might in Three Houses. Like, you get, like, Killer Axes for crit, you get, like, the Legendary Axes, of course.
Amir.
Yes, Amir makes Edelgard, like, one of the best units in the franchise. Like, it's
Amir makes Edelgard a Beyblade.
Yeah, Edelgard with Amir has access to a special art that's just Gale Force, but better somehow. Which,
Yeah,
Gale Force,
Gale
for reference, is a skill in various Fire Emblem games that allows you to move again after defeating, or allows you to move again once after defeating an opponent.
Raging Storm, however.
For four legendary weapon durability, which you can repair weapons in this game, and the resource to repair Amir, I think, isn't even that difficult if you just do an auxiliary battle. It's not very difficult to obtain, and it's not expensive at all. Amir, Raging Storm. Would you like to explain to the people at home what it does?
So, Amir's Raging Storm, turns Edelgard into a Beyblade, as I mentioned.
This is true.
But the more important thing it does is it gives her an extra turn. Regardless of if she killed the enemy, as is the case with the passive skill Gale Force, and it can be used more than once per turn.
Indeed.
Unlike Gale Force.
Unlike Gale Force. It's literally just stronger Gale Force. This being said, this makes Edelgard feel like an amazing unit to use. Like, oh my god, she's so funny.
Literally able to one-turn kill the boss of her route.
Indeed. More importantly, it just lets her do some wacky shit. Like, there are several maps in the game that are, like, pretty much every map in the game is kill boss. And the reason this is important is because Edelgard can use Raging Storm to hit enemies on her way to the boss, so that she can reach the boss and just destroy them in a single turn, because she's so strong.
For context, this allows her to one-turn kill several maps in the game.
Indeed.
Only in the second half of the game, of course, though.
Yeah, she only receives Amir in the second half. Either way, Edelgard is hilariously broken. Raging Storm unironically makes her like one of the best units in that entire game, if not the best.
And the other two best units, one of them prefers axes. And the other is a spellcaster.
Indeed.
Just Lysithea, why?
Lysithea is a hilariously overtuned unit. She's very min-maxed for magic damage, but like, just because she's frail doesn't mean she can't like do anything, because there's another relic that's not a weapon in the game, and it increases any magic caster's range by 2, and I don't think there's any drawback to using it if you don't have the associated crest.
Yeah, because it's a shield, it's not a weapon.
Yeah. Anyways, this thing is hilarious. It increases magic range by 2, like we said. But more importantly, it can be used on anyone. And this means every magic caster you have gets access to +2 magic range. And Lysithea, being someone min-maxed for magic damage, she gets some pretty good use out of it.
Yeah, just a little bit. Basically, map-wide warp.
Not only map-wide warp, which is really good because it just means you can send in, like, Byleth or, like, Felix or whoever your strong unit is. Edelgard, like. But it also means that she herself can poke from a safe distance. Oh, okay, so this is Town Hall Board of Notice. What does this say? This abandoned town, which is clearly abandoned, and which no one lives in, is henceforth irrevocably, eternally, foreverly, uncancelably and undeniably claimed by right of previous owner's blatant abandonment as the sole property of merchant Magildus Drieg. In addition, I, Magildus Drieg, shall rename this new shining center of commerce. It shall be known as Bargainburg. Should any legal inquiries or complaints arise, contact Unintelligible. Thank you for your cooperation. Why is this game's writing amazing? Anyways. She can poke from a safe distance, which is amazing, because she has some of, if not the most damaging spells in the entire game.
To the point where she can even defeat a character who is supposed to be a massive threat.
It is a big meme in the fandom that this character is canonically afraid of Lysithea. This is not true in the slightest in canon, but it is the meme.
But the whole point of this character, the Death Knight,
Mm-hmm.
you know, big bad edgy guy with the name to prove it, who also likes ice cream.
Yes. He shows up for the first time in, like, Chapter 4, but, like...
And when you first encounter him, you were basically told, "Hey,
stay the fuck away
run
from
the
this guy. He
fuck
will
away."
one-shot you. He has things like, he can counterattack from any range. His stats are easily higher than anyone you have at that point in the game. And he shows up several times. So he will continue to have higher stats than anyone on your team. He can counter from any distance. And what else does he got? He's got, like, pretty high crit chance and, like... What else?
Let's see. Let me pull up Death Knight.
Yeah, pull
real
up the
quick.
Death Knight. He's got a really good weapon that I think gives him, like, crit. He makes it so that your units have less avoid, I think. That's his personal, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, Lysithea earns access to a funny skill. Alright, I've made some progress. Do I want to go for that coin?
I don't think the coins actually do anything.
It might not. Either way, Anyway, this guy's just supposed to be no joke, right? He's supposed to be, like, a big threatening enemy that you can, like... You can challenge, but it probably won't go well for you, right?
Yeah, but you were
Lysithea...
not intended to fight him. At least at first.
Eventually, you're supposed to be able to go up against him and get access to a special item that unlocks a special class for certain units. But, Lysithea gets access to a very funny spell at a very funny point in the game.
Dark Spikes Tea.
Now, what this spell does is it is effective against cavalry units. The Death Knight is a cavalry unit.
Yeah. Okay, so I finally found the information on the Death Knight in Chapter 4. So, Death Knight in Chapter 4, I'm just going to read the stats, the average level on normal of most enemies in this chapter. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, and the Mysterious Mage, who is effectively the boss of the chapter per se, is level 9. Death Knight is level 16.
Mm-hmm.
The boss's HP is 29. Death Knight's is 42. The boss's strength is 4, but he's a mage, so what do you expect? Death Knight's is 18. The
Yep.
boss's magic stat is 13. The Death Knight's is 17.
That being said, I don't think the Death Knight uses magic, so I'm not sure how much that counts, but we're still comparing 14 magic to 18 strength.
I think he might actually be able to scale off magic, but I'm not sure.
He might not. Either way, find his what is his speed stat, because that's the other important stat.
Yeah, the speed stat is the most important. So, let's see. The boss's speed stat is 6. Which is a respectable speed at this point in the game.
Because it's literally chapter, like, 4.
4. The Death Knight's is 17.
Yep.
And keep in mind, this is only on normal mode, which is effectively easy mode.
Yes.
The speed of the Death Knight on hard mode is still 17. And on maddening mode is just not fun.
Maddening mode is the frustrating
19. Oh, and on maddening mode, and possibly hard mode, I can't actually remember. No, not on hard mode, but on maddening mode, he does not stay immobile until attacked, whereas in normal and hard mode, he will not do anything until he's attacked.
All I'm gonna say is there's a reason I refuse to play Three Houses on Maddening.
You could have ended it at refuse to play Three Houses.
Okay, there are plenty of reasons I refuse to play Three Houses too, but we'll get into those. Or we're kind of getting into those. Would you like to read off his defensive stats as well?
I
Like
guess I
defense and
can.
resistance.
Yeah, defense and res. Let's see. Okay, on normal mode. On normal mode, his defense is 16. In comparison, the Mysterious Mage has 3, but he's a mage. What do you expect? The Mysterious Mage's resistance, which is the magic defense stat, is 11. Death Knight's is 18. And even with the 18 resistance, he's still afraid of a little girl shooting magic at him.
Would you like to read the stats of Death Spike, or of, not Death Spike, Dark Spikes?
Dark Spike.
Yeah.
So, Dark Spike's T is a combat art which was introduced in Fire Emblem Echo Shadows of Valencia. In 3 houses, Dark Spikes is a dark spell and is given the name Dark Spike's T. So, let's see. In Shadows of Valencia, it has a might of 10 to 30.
Interesting.
In which it inflicts damage on all opposing units within its range. If the damage would kill a target, it instead leaves the target with 1 HP. So effectively, AoE false swipe.
And a really strong false swipe at that.
Well, a false swipe with a really large range.
And a lot of damage, because normally false swipe in Pokemon isn't really, like, what you use to chip down something. It's just making sure it doesn't die.
Although, what's most interesting here, so in Shadows of Valencia, magic does not have a limited amount of uses. It instead costs a specific amount of health. Dark Spikes in Shadows of Valencia cost 0 health.
This has to be a boss skill, right?
Isn't it?
I feel like it has to be.
Oh, it's only used by the creation, who periodically uses it during its fight in the Thade's Labyrinth.
Yeah, and the
Yes.
creation is a different character from another Fire Emblem game.
That makes a lot more sense.
Anyways, we're not here for the Echo's Dark Spikes, because
Yes.
that's a boss mechanic. We're here for the 3 Houses Dark Spike.
So, 3 Houses Dark Spikes, it is a level B, or B level spell, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
which does 13 might, so it has a base damage of 13,
Mm-hmm.
11 weight, so honestly a fairly slow spell, 80 hit,
So
0
relatively
natural
accurate.
crit, but that's normal. 1 to 2 range, but the range actually scales based around the character's magic stat.
Does it?
Pretty sure.
No,
I know Warp does.
Warp does, but that's because it's Warp and Physic do, but that's because they're special.
Yeah,
I don't think Black or Dark Magic scales with range.
it's possible. I don't know, to be
Anyways,
honest, I didn't really use magic much beyond healing magic during my 3 Houses playthrough. Like, I turned Lysithea into a healer,
I mean, Lysithea is amazing as a healer because
Oh, yeah,
of
she
Warp,
is.
but like,
but I also had Linhardt as a healer.
yeah. Anyways, here's the really important part. So that 13
Heals
might,
bonus damage to cavalry
Yeah.
units.
that 13 might is tripled to 39 might.
Upon a crit.
No, not even on a crit.
Yeah,
that's what
like his
effective
bonus
damage
damage. And then if it crits, it gets tripled again.
is. Yeah. So we got a 39 might spell used on an enemy with, what was it, 19 resistance?
Yes.
How much health does the Death Knight have?
46. Or 42. 42.
42. So if your Lysithea somehow manages to get Dark Spikes by Chapter 4, which oddly enough is entirely possible because the monastery gives you access to some hilarious tools to make her learn Dark Magic really quick.
Yeah.
If Lysithea can learn Dark Spikes by the time Chapter 4 rolls around, and can rig a crit against the Death Knight, which is entirely possible because of, one, she inherently has a pretty high skill stat, if I'm not mistaken. Also, hello,
Yeah.
Paulton Man. What's up, you fucking goat? Love to. Thanks, I appreciate it. Welcome to Jump King, where we're discussing Fire Emblem instead. Anyways, if you can rig a crit on Lysithea against the Death Knight,
Hey, you did it.
indeed. Just he's just gone. He's just gone if you can rig a crit.
Like, Lysithea is hilariously overpowered.
Anyways, how are you doing, Polton Man 889? Who's that? Fucking love Jump King, but hate it at the same time. Correct. It is an experience, to say the least. This is my second stream on the subject, and oof, these things happen. Oh shit, these things happen.
DJ, do not end this stream the way the last one ended.
I'm trying. Not very effectively, but I'm trying. I'm doing great. How about you? I'm doing pretty good. I've made some decent progress so far. I say so far, as this isn't my 6th hour of streaming. Not straight. I only stream for 3 hours at a time. But yesterday I streamed this, and I won't be revisiting this for a while. What is wrong with me today? I won't be revisiting this for a while, as in I'll be revisiting it Friday. But I've made some pretty decent progress for 6 hours, I'd say. When you arrived at the part where I was in Bargainburg, that was the highest up I've made it so far, as shown by the Ravens still being there. I'm doing pretty well. We're, myself and my co-commentator are discussing Fire Emblem because I love Fire Emblem. Anyways. Yeah, that's great. Played golf today, so yeah, I had fun. That's good to hear. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Come on. But yeah, that's how Jump King is going. Pretty good so far. Unfortunately, I will be coming to a close soon. I'm a curse. No worries. I was gonna do that anyway. I'm obviously not falling for content, and I obviously haven't fallen that far before. I would recommend going to my YouTube channel and checking out the previous VOD to see how far I made it yesterday, and where I started from today as well. It was a interesting experience, and my YouTube should be linked somewhere in my Twitch About channel, or About page.
Hey, does this game save?
It was a good question to ask at the time.
At the time.
At the time. But yeah, anyways, feel free to check out my YouTube channel to find the VOD. I go live 8 p.m. Mountain Time every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. I have a very dedicated stream schedule that can also be found on my Twitch channel.
And I'm just kind of here sometimes.
This is true.
Alongside a few others who could not make it today.
Indeed. The game is... You are capable of saving the game. This is true. It did not come in handy, but it is possible. It was an experience, to say the least.
Down, gravity.
But, anyways, yeah, Jump King has been an experience so far. I'm 6 hours into the game, and,
made decent progress for 6 hours.
This is true. I had not played Jump King at all before I started streaming this, so I think this was a pretty good run. This is true. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I would recommend checking out the previous VOD if you would like to see my experiences and thoughts on the game so far. And tuning in next Friday for when I tackle this again. Because, for obvious reasons, I will not be finishing today. As, I typically stream for 3 hours at a time, and given that I go live at, 8 p.m. Mountain Time, it's almost 11 p.m. Mountain Time right now. So that's a slight bit of a problem. In terms of my progress.
I mean, hey, you made progress.
This is true. I also have a much better starting position than last stream. Or this stream, I guess.
You currently have a much better starting position.
This is true.
You still have 11 minutes.
This is also true. All right, we're getting some good motion here.
I thought you were going straight down the pit.
I may have also thought that. I'm definitely not playing a dangerous game here. This is true, make that your name. I would if I could, but I've already locked in as a protagonist.
Wait, make what your name?
This is true. I say it a lot.
Oh! Yeah,
Um,
you do. This is true.
Indeed. Anyways, this is the farthest screen I've made it to so far. Intel jump. Not gonna give me any intel. Nope! Down I go.
Right back to here.
False King's Keep is fine.
Okay, but that one room in particular.
Yeah, this room is like the scariest room in False King's Keep. For that reason.
Because of that!
Indeed. But yeah, as I have said, I have a very dedicated stream schedule that I've been following pretty much as best I can for the past, like... How long has it been? Since, like, March?
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole premise of my channel is that I'm bad at video games, but that's not necessarily true, I don't think. That being said, I have definitely not upheld everything I've said I was going to do on stream. And you can see that in various VODs, such as the Hollow Knight series and the, what was it? Cave Story series.
Yeah.
Anyways, with that out of the way, I play a lot of RPGs. I tend to be somewhat okay at those. I play a lot of platformers. I tend to not be somewhat okay at those. And then I play, whatever I want on Fridays, but, like, it just ends up being something that I typically can challenge myself with in some way. And Saturdays are, I consider them an auxiliary stream day, where I just stream whatever I want to hasten along a bit. For instance, Jump King, I wanted to hasten along, mostly because I was really liking it. But yeah, that's my stream schedule. 8 p.m. Mountain Time, all of those days that I mentioned. And yeah, that's when I go live, as you can see on my channel. And hey, if you want to see my journeys in Jump King, go ahead and leave a follow. Gotta promote myself somehow, you know? Especially after such a performance there. No! Ah, that's frustrating. And once more into Bargensburg we go.
You're going to Bargainburg.
Nope. Okay, we're good.
You got lucky.
I completely agree. That was all luck. That was not luck. That was also not luck.
At least you landed there and not further.
Don't test me. Don't test me. I will fall further.
Starting this stream off like you... Or starting the next stream off like you started this one.
Of course. I mean, where else would I start it? It's all about the journey. And if I can keep making that journey, then obviously it means it's all about the journey even more.
Started at the bottom, now we're at the bottom.
Of course. They never specify where here is.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jump King has been a fascinating experience so far, and I expect it to continue being fascinating. Especially if I keep doing stuff like that. And like that.
Or that.
I do not understand how people can speedrun this game.
I do. I can't do it. I will probably never be able to do it. But I can definitely understand how people can speedrun this game.
I don't think I have the mental fortitude.
I definitely don't. That being said, I'm fine taking it at a leisurely pace.
Like, the thing is, I do speedrun games.
Just not this.
Not this.
Correct.
That said, I really need to get back into Luna Knight speedrunning.
Understandable. Ah, that's
Like,
slow!
I at least want to get a sub 15. I know I'll never hit sub 13. Sub 13, all of the micro optimizations that are required for that are absolutely absurd.
I may be stupid. Don't ask. On the bright side, I've gotten slightly more consistent with that jump.
Yeah.
I have not, however, gotten more consistent with that one. I hope you know, I was expecting full well with me having said that I got more consistent with it to just miss it immediately.
That's
after.
exactly what I was expecting too.
It would not be out of character for me if you've seen any of my other videos. It is very frequent that I eat my words.
Yummy.
Delicious, even. Ah! Just like that, see? But yeah, this game has so far been really, like, oddly soothing in a way. Like, it shouldn't be as relaxing as it is, but the very simple gameplay, even if it's somewhat punishing, has really let me just kind of, like, chill out in a way, you know? It's like... It is certainly an experience. And I'm not sure if this is the kind of experience everyone has with this game, but, like, it's...
No, some people do rage at it.
understandable.
Not nearly as many as you'd think. Like, it doesn't end up with the same Bennett Foddy reaction.
Yeah. It's a very relaxing in its own way game, but it's also absolutely infuriating in other ways. That being said, though, it's really fun. Like, I'm having a great time. And it's like, the fact that it's simple enough for me to, like, still learn while I'm not 100% focused on it and instead able to hold conversations, it's very nice.
Yeah,
And it
really
lets-
good game for streaming.
Yeah, it lets me generate plenty of free content, both on terms of repeatedly failing the same jump, and also in terms of being able to hold a conversation.
Discussing Fire Emblem while playing Jump King.
Ah, come on! See, okay, I can play it off like the first one was for content. I can play it off like the second was for content. I can't keep doing that, I don't think.
I mean, you can. It won't be successful,
Yeah.
like your jump attempts.
Can you clip that?
I wish I could. I don't have Twitch open.
Aw, come on.
Am I still able to clip within, like, if I wasn't watching the stream?
I think it's within, like, the last minute.
Okay, how do I clip? How do I clip? How do I clip?
I think... Check the more options thing, who knows?
Air? Ah, clip.
Yeah, just use the audio cues For when you're gonna clip. Is it still there?
Yeah, I found it.
Nice. Be sure to give it a title and publish it, of course. Nope.
Got it.
Nice.
Clip. Like your jump attempts.
Perfect. Alright, it might be 11, but I think I'm going to try and get back to the start of Bargainburg before, Let's find out. Can I do it?
Yeah,
should
I
be
mean,
able to
making
do it.
back to Bargenberg should be pretty easy.
Should be. We'll find out how easy it actually is, of course. I think we're gonna leave it here.
Hello, Greeks. Or Dreeks, whatever your name was.
I do not remember. Anyways, this has been another installment of Jump King. I'm gonna go ahead and pause so we can see my progress so far. 12,000 jumps and 1,400 falls. 6 hours and 48 minutes into the game.
48 seconds.
Did I say minutes? I said minutes.
Yes.
Either way, this is what I would call pretty good progress, I'd say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll be leaving it there. Again, thank you all for watching. I do appreciate you being here. And yeah, that'll be it for today. Go ahead and join me on Monday so we can watch some more Chrono Trigger. Join me on Wednesday so I can start the 3D Mario All-Stars collection. I don't think I said that correctly at all, but we're gonna go with it.
3D Mario All-Stars Collection, I think that is correct.
Yeah. On Friday, I'll go ahead and do some more Jump King. And Saturday, I'll figure out what I'm doing eventually.
Probably more Jump King.
Entirely possible. Anyways, again, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you being here, and I shall see you later. Does my co-commentator have anything to say to the people at home?
This goes without saying, but Jump King is a good game. Play Jump King.
Indeed. And with that, I think we leave. Again, thank you for watching, and I shall see you later.